Get up, you son of a bitch!
Cause Pawn's drunk loves ya.
Yeah, you already know this is Pawn's Drunk Boxing, a.k.a. Mr. Moonshine himself, a.k.a. El Adobo, a.k.a. El Sazón, a.k.a. El Borracho, a.k.a. Café Bustelo, a.k.a. El Pastor de Boxeo. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in this side of heaven. Aye, God bless you all. Fight week. Oh, man, fight week. This past weekend, man, the boxing is getting too dramatic. Boxing is getting too dramatic, but at the end of the day, this is the sport of boxing. It's supposed to be dramatic. It's supposed to be chaos. Drama sells. That's what they say. Drama sells. A lot of people screaming, yo, Keyshawn Davis is unprofessional. Keyshawn Davis is unprofessional. What you think? What you think Mike Tyson used to do back in the days? Huh? What you think that Hector Camacho was doing back in the days? Huh? What you think Bernard Hopkins taking the Puerto Rican flag and stuff like that and slamming on the ground? What you talking about? What happened when Ricardo Mayorga smacked the booty of Shane Mosley's wife? Huh? Professional. You trying to look for professional in the sport of boxing? Ain't nothing professional. This is the Wild Wild West, ladies and gentlemen. Boxing is the Wild Wild West. Now, am I condoning that after a fight you got to be a sore loser and beat and try to threaten or try to assault the fighter that beat the person that you support, whether it's a brother, sister, cousin, friends? No. But this is the sport where you do me wrong and you disrespect me, and I could get back at you. And we make millions. See, all Keyshawn Davis has to do, you know what I'm saying, is, you know what? I'm gonna give this man. I want to fight. I want to fight the guy that beat my brother, right? And everybody gonna be watching, and he's gonna capitalize off it. Not here gonna capitalize off it. Not here. Albright gonna capitalize off it, and we're gonna capitalize off it because we gonna be watching. Do you think that Caleb Plant smacking Jamal Charlo was professional? Huh? But then when we was what the world of boxing been saying? The world of boxing is not calling for Jamal Charlo and Caleb Plant because it's a fight that the world of boxing been asking for, and I believe it's going to be a great fight. No, the world of boxing is asking for that fight because Caleb Plant laid a smackdown on Jamal Charlo outside of the ring. Am I right or wrong? Is that professionalism or that's acting unprofessional? Let you understand? I know it's not the same circumstances in the arena. Well, that was the arena. That was outside of the arena. Why everybody want to see? Tell me in the chat. What's good? Shout out to the members. Karate Kid in the building. Shout out Low Nose Boxing in the building. What's good, babe? What's good? Shout out Low Nose Boxing. Shout out to everybody, man. Smash that like button like if you was smashing your shorty last night. And if you wasn't smashing nobody last night, hey, yo, at least you could tell the homies that you was smashing the like button. You feel me? Yo, my man, what you did last night, man? You ain't even come to the block, man. I was smashing the like button and stuff like that. Yeah. At least you could smash something. You know what I'm saying? Smash that like button, baby. He said one got jumped, one got slapped. In the end of the day, we want to see that in the ring. So no, not here. Albright. Yo, they jumped me. Yo, Keyshawn Davis disrespectful. I want to see that man in the ring. That's all he got to. That's all he got to do. Just turn it around. Just like we talking about the Caleb Plant and Jamal Charlo. Look, Caleb Plant lost, right, in his last fight. And we're still waiting. Maybe we still want to see the Caleb Plant. Nah. Jamal Charlo need to get that smack back. Well, Albright need to get that headbutt right back. The headbutt back. You know what I'm saying? This is the sport of boxing. I'm all right with the chaos. HLD in the building. What's good, man? Puerto Rico. Shout out to the Puerto Ricans. Puerto Rico weekend. Puerto Rico Day Parade. Shout out to Edgar Balaga out there in the flow. Qué bonita bandera, qué bonita bandera, qué bonita bandera, la bandera puertorriqueña. ¿A dónde quedan los coquitos? Ah, el kipe. Cuchifritos. Leo, Palo Viejo. What's good? Leo with a $2 super chat. Good looking out. This proof Keyshawn been weight bully. Yeah, man. Keyshawn was supposed to be fighting Edward De Los Santos this weekend in his hometown, Virginia. Allen Iverson was promoting it. Pound for pound, the baddest man that ever graced the court. Michael Vick, one of the best quarterbacks to ever live. The culture was promoting. Even Shaquille O'Neal was promoting this fight for Keyshawn Davis. Keyshawn Davis let a lot of people down. Unprofessionalism. Damn, he was unprofessional not coming in the way. He was unprofessional. He was unprofessional after the fight. But chaos sells in the sport of boxing. But he was unprofessional when he came overweight, almost 5 pounds overweight. Shout out to Edo de los Santos, El Dominicano, El Platanero, El Mangu con los 3 golpes. Shout out to Edo de los Santos for putting a stop to it, because I'm going to say it like this, especially a Dominican. I'm Dominican. I'm going to say it like this. You throw 100,000, you hold $50,000, and be like, yo peleo así, yo le gano a ese tigre. I win him, I beat him, okay? I give me the money. You all right? You have problem? Go fight. Hey, wait, 5 pound weight, ain't no problem. I can give me $50,000 and I don't cool. I'll beat you all right now. You know what I'm saying? That's the Dominican. You feel me? But I'm happy that Edward De Los Santos stopped his grind. Stop that momentum, because it needs to be stopped. Shout out to Emmanuel Rodriguez. He did that years ago as well. The dude came 1 pound over. He said, no professional. I don't fight in the ring. You crazy? Not me, okay? I'm making my way. You making your way, okay? Contrato, all right? You give me... And I'm glad. Shout out to the Virginia Commission, Athletic Commission, for paying Edward De Los Santos his full purse. Shout out. Coda in the building, still not a member. Coda in the building, still not a member. Coda? That's how the Puerto Ricans roll, That's how the Puerto Ricans roll. Talking about the Puerto Rican, you already know, man. We got that Puerto Rican fight, the Puerto Rican versus Dominican, Puello versus Subriel Matias. Hey, yo, what's good with Subriel Matias, man? The boxing voice asked him, yo, I heard that your father's Dominican. Mira, hey, yo no hablo de mi personal. Yo no estoy aquí para hablar por eso. Man, he was putting, man, he gave Nestor Gibbs some attitude, in the boxing voice. So Subriel Matias, you know, he's half Puerto Rican, half Dominican, but you asked him about his Dominican side, man, he get heated up. He got heated. He's like, I'm not here to talk about that, okay? My relationship with my father is my relationship with my father. It's not your problem, okay? Basically, that's what you say. Did y'all see the any of 5 Fury films in the building with that, brother? 5 Fury films in the brother. In the building. I'm sorry, I say the brother. In the building. So Subriel Matias, you ask him about the Dominican side, he's not. I'm not here. I don't interview to talk about my father, okay? Ese tigre un pelagato. He left me here with my Puerto Rican mommy, all right? I don't like a Dominican, okay? Don't ask me about that. I talked to my father already. We hashed it down, and that's it. Ay, taquillado, se lo voy a decir a Puello. Slim with the $5 super chat. Good looking out. Said Keyshawn really dropped the ball. Yup. He was on the face of boxing train with all that casual celebrities, fan endorsement. Facts. He was always, and also he was creating the headlines too. While the world of boxing is saying, damn, Teofimo Lopez, why you ain't fighting no Devin Haney? Why you ain't signing up for Devin Haney, man? You a duck goose, man, damn. And then Keyshawn Davis had an interview and said, you know what? Turkey Al Sheikh wanted me to fight Teofimo Lopez too for $11 million, the same money that he was trying to give Teo to fight Boots. Míralo ahí, Coda. Míralo ahí. Por fin, Cotita. Por fin, become a member of Punch on Boxing. Let's go, Coda. Let's go. Good looking out. Slim for the super chat as well. Diablo, Coda. Wow. It took you a long time, almost a year. Ajá, no. Te lo voy a quitar del bolsillo. Te lo quito del bolsillo. But yeah, man. And Turkey Al Sheikh, he said, man, Turkey Al Sheikh, you know what I'm saying? He FaceTimed me while we Teo, and he said, Teofimo Lopez, I've had a Keyshawn Davis here for you. Right? Do you want to fight Keyshawn? For the same money I will give you to fight Jerron Bulsenis? Do you want it? And Teofimo Lopez said, man, we already signed the contract. See, that's the thing that y'all didn't understand. Teofimo Lopez already signed the contract. That's why he told Turkey, I'll shake. Nah, I already signed. We already agreed on it. Turkey, let me get boots. But I would have given you the same money to fight Keyshawn Davis. No. We already agree. I'm gonna fight Barbosa. He's not even in this tournament that you making up. You know what I'm saying? Keyshawn Davis got to fight. He's just using my name for clout. All right. Sorry, Keyshawn, but I want to see boots and I want to see Tio. But damn, Keyshawn Davis and Keon Davis, DB3, going to assault the man that assaulted Calvin Davis yesterday out there in Virginia. Beat him up. Landed some good right hands. Shout out to the game plan of Nahir Albright. Good game plan, good right hands. Kryptonite to the southpaw. Did a good job. But then we heard in the end of in the backstage, there was commotions. Keyshawn Davis and Keon allegedly, Albright said that Albright in his locker room, they was close, they were celebrating and stuff like that. They didn't like to hear it. Keyshawn Davis, who explained in the past that he's a little cuckoo in the head. He's infamous for jumping people. Let's not forget the story. What happened to Teofimo Lopez Sr. several years ago. It was that, you know what I'm saying? He had a sparring session with Teofimo Lopez. Things got out of hand. Coach Kimura, shout out to Coach Kimura, New York City. He snuffed Teofimo Lopez Sr. and then the people jumped Teofimo Lopez Sr. as well. And that's where Keyshawn Davis, he likes to say, shout out to Keyshawn, but he likes to say that he put hands on Sr., but he was part of a couple people that jumped Teofimo Lopez Sr. It was a jump. It wasn't like straight up 1D. No, it was a jump. And looking at the and then forward to yesterday, Shy in the building, forward to yesterday, he want to jump the man that beat his brother in front of his baby, in front of his mama. You saw his mother out there trying to calm things. Baby, calm down. Keyshawn, calm the fuck. Keyshawn, calm the fuck down. You embarrassing the whole family. Damn, man. Keyshawn Davis with a stroller and stuff like that. Boom, left the baby alone. Keyshawn, listen to me, Keyshawn, calm the fuck down. We ain't never gonna get invited to the Virginia again. That's gonna be the last time we see a boxing event in Virginia. Last time we're gonna see a boxing event in Virginia. And then Teofimo Lopez. Shout out to Teofimo Lopez for winning an Oscar earlier today. Teofimo Lopez gave you his Robert De Niro impression. Teofimo Lopez gave you an Al Pacino impression. He gave you a good Emmy award-winning short video today. Shout out to Teofimo Lopez. Let's play what Teofimo Lopez had to say about Keyshawn Davis. His reaction of Keyshawn Davis doing what he did yesterday. Hold on, let me take this thing out of the way. Shout out to Teofimo Lopez. I said, and then he said it with a straight face. I said, damn, Teofimo Lopez deserve an Oscar. Hold on. Let me put it. I know y'all seen it already, but we're going to do it in punch run boxing. Hold on.
I think it's very important for us to really think about Keyshawn Davis and his situation. I know personally that he's going through it mentally. And how I know this is because I was there. I've been there. The only difference is that we never reacted the certain kind of way that he has. Other than that, though, I think we should all send prayers, you know, to him, to his family, to his newborn child as well. I think that
Stop lying.
He's young, still trying to figure out himself in the game, and a lot of frustration comes with that. You know, the media is not easy. I think anybody in here that knows it's not easy. But wishing the best for Keyshawn Davis. God willing, he finds, you know, his peace and his place at heart in the sport of boxing, and understand boxing. No one's bigger than the sport, my man. No one. Not even myself, brother. And I just wish you the best to you, your family, to your
Look
mother,
at
mainly.
the act,
I know
bro.
she's
Look at the
hurting right
act.
now. Sending prayers to your mother. And wishing you and DP3 the best, guys. Keep it up, man, in the sense of positivity. Forget about the negativity. And to Najar, I believe it is, or Nahir, you know, feel better, man. And whatever you guys plan on doing on that case, you know, I think that it's a good move on whatever you guys decide with your team. Things like this are unacceptable.
You's a liar! You's a liar!
Tio, stop.
You's a liar!
You almost had me there, Tio. You almost had me there. Did you believe that? Yo, I can't. Oh, yeah, man. Hey, yo, Tio, it's been enough for a week, all right? It's been enough. I don't believe one cell of that.
You's a liar!
Shout out to Rogue in the building. Hey, yo, I don't believe one cell of that statement. Man, if Teofimo Lopez was praying, man, he's praying for the devil to strike Keyshawn Davis down. Stop it, man. Stop. Stop it already. Shakur. Yo, Sucker in the building. What's good, man? Yo, do y'all believe, Brother Tio? Should we all pray for everybody? If we all want to pray for Keyshawn, let's pray for Keyshawn. Tio, you better stop playing around. You played enough this week, damn it. You played enough. Did Keyshawn Davis and Teofimo Lopez let the boxing world down this week? Now I understand. You understand Teofimo Lopez had his reasons for avoiding the fight with Devin the Dream Haney. Had his reasons. We understand that. You understand that when you sign a contract, you know what I'm saying? You should abide by it, and you want the other party to abide by it. See, I wish I could sign a contract. Ladies and gentlemen, like I said the other day, a lot of people out here probably got an apartment. A lot of people out here probably got own property, right? How would you like it if you agreed on the terms, right? Agree on the terms, and then you tell your landlord, you know what I'm saying? I did sign for this lease, but I'm only going. I mean, the rent is $2,300, but I'm gonna pay you $1,300. What you think your landlord gonna do? What the hell you think the landlord gonna do? He gonna kick you out, evict your ass, huh? Right? You agreed on the terms. You signed for something. You expect something. The other party expects something too. Because I wish when I finance a car, I want to go back and tell the bank, if you know what I'm saying, you see that car note that was like $450, you know, I just want to pay $150. They're gonna be like, no, what you signed on the contract, that's what you're gonna pay for. I want to change. I want to change a couple things. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I want to pay $150, and you see that you see that that 60 months thing. I want to pay $150 for 12 months. How about that? And it pays everything in full. Yeah, right. They'll tow your shit. All right. So I understand Teofimo Lopez when he made an agreement with Turkey Al Sheikh. And he was going to get X amount of dollars, $11 million, $11.5 million to fight Jerome Bruce Ennis. That's the fight. That was the tournament, right? Devin Haney going to be fighting Ryan Garcia, right? If they win their interim fight, right? Ryan Garcia fumbled the bag, as we all know. Devin Haney, he beat Jose Ramirez in an underwhelming performance, as we all know. Teofimo Lopez beat Barbosa. Boots Ennis beat Stanionis. Eddie Hearn came out and said we're negotiating the Teofimo Lopez and Jerome Boots Ennis fight, and that's the best business deal. He said it was great money, all of that nature, right? Boots didn't want the fight. Ryan Garcia wouldn't have surgery. He lost the fight. That it leaves Devin Haney and Teofimo Lopez. And this is the reason why I said it's still a duck. What I'm saying is a duck. I'm not saying that Teofimo Lopez is afraid of Devin Haney. Ain't nobody afraid of Devin Haney. And I'm gonna say it like this: Teofimo Lopez ain't afraid of no fighter. His beef is with the contract, but at the expense, you're avoiding this fight, right? In the boxing world, they don't give a damn, right? In the boxing world, we pick and choose when to look at the business and when not to look at the business. In the boxing world, we like to say, this guy is the A-side because he sells more seats and look at the numbers and look at the numbers. But y'all don't want to look at the numbers with Teofimo Lopez, right? And the Turkey on Shake. See, this is what it is in boxing. We like to pick and choose which business we want to get into. We in the community talk about A-side, B-side. No. Earl Spence deserved to get 70-30 because he did the pay-per-view with Mikey Garcia and the pay-per-view with Ugas and the pay-per-view with Porter. And you know what I'm saying? And Buck Crawford ain't doing nothing. You know what I'm saying? Shakur Stevens exposed it when he said that they ain't promising money. Rap Star boxing out of the world from the UK, London, bruv. What's good, Rap Star? Right? That's understandable. Yeah, in the end of the day, it was still going to be. Your second fight might not have been Devin Haney, but Devin Haney was included in the possible third fight. So you're not going to fight Devin Haney in the second fight, but it was a possibility you're going to fight him in the third fight, of course, with a whole lot of money. Now, what is the value of Devin the Dream Haney if Turkey Out Shake would have cut the $11 million, almost half, $5.5 million? How? I thought that Devin Haney had a bigger profile than Jerome Bruce Ennis. Why would it cut in half? Maybe, Turkey Out Shake felt like, you know what, man? I might not trust none of y'all motherfuckers, really. Especially Devin Haney's performance. But you know what? As much as probably Teofimo Lopez had a masterclass performance, nobody had a highlight. There was no highlight reel. The only highlight reel in that fight was the drop of Rolly Romero dropping Ryan Garcia. But if you think about it, there was no catchy highlight reel. We can't go back to that event outside of the Rolly Romero knockdown to be like that wow moment. What was the wow moment? You understand what I'm trying to say? It could be a good fight. Certain fights could be a good fight, but what was the wow moment? I think maybe Turkey Out Shake say, you know what? All right, man. I'll put these fights. I have an agreement, but I ain't paying these motherfuckers this type of money. I thought this was the future. I had a revision to have. Can you imagine? I'd had Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney, Teofimo Lopez in the same card. It would be magnificent. It would be beautiful. This is the future? This is what I'm paying all this money? You're not worth it. Your values, all of you have gone down. I don't know. Well, we don't know what Turkey is thinking about. I still wanna know what the hell Turkey is talking. I want to see the you know what I'm saying, what he feel about the values and shit like that. Turkey Out Shake. He told Teofimo Lopez, take that $5 million, all right? But Turk, you get. I'm supposed to get $11 million versus Jerome Bruce Ennis in the second fight or any high caliber fighters. Isn't Devin Haney a high caliber fighter? So let me get I agree on the deal, but give me my $11 million that I signed for. Teofimo Lopez, you would get the $5 million or else. They get out. And that's when Teofimo Lopez went out there and said, dictator. Dictator me? I'm the dictator. This motherfucker called me the dictator. Really? Couple of days after, Teofimo Lopez apologized. Yo, Turk, look, you know, I'm Tio, my mind, you know what I'm saying? I got loose screws in the head and stuff like that. I apologize. I should have never called you a dictator. All right. So this is an apology that you're giving me? You're apologizing to me, motherfucker? Yes, I apologize. No, all right. So I'm not a dictator. But now you sucking my dick to come and want that fight, all right? Now you're the dick sucker, all right? I would give you the degree. Do you agree to fight Devin Haney? Yes, I do. Do you, Devin Haney, agree to fight Teofimo Lopez? All right. Email them the contract. Hurry up. Devin Haney signed his deal. Teofimo Lopez was about to sign his deal. He ain't. Something came up and said, you know what? I'm not. Basically, no, I'm not. No. You heard him. Teofimo Lopez had a Twitter space, and then we chopped it up right here after his Twitter space live, right? Y'all could see it in my other live, my last live, the whole when he was explaining everything. And as much as everything is understood, I feel so still. He said, well, I think 1 year's reach. I think that I think it's bigger than that. I just feel like Teofimo Lopez could beat the crap out of Devin Haney. That's, for me, in my opinion, that's easy work. But I did not understand the business of boxing. I understand the cutthroat, the snakish shit in the sport of boxing. I also understand that. Because I was the one, like I give this example all the time. And if you're not tuning in, I give this example all the time. I was the only one that was happy that Amanda Serrano when the first negotiations with Katie Taylor pulled away from that fight because they were trying to lowball her. And the world of boxing is saying, oh, Amanda Serrano, you scared of Katie Taylor, you scared of Katie Taylor. And she like, nah, man, I'm not getting no damn $75,000, $100,000 for this fight. If this is the biggest fight for women boxing, how the hell am I going to be paying this? And we're going to be fighting in the backyard of Eddie Hearn's mansion? In a co-main event, Povetkin and Dillian White, and that's not even a heavyweight championship fight. I was happy that she pulled out of the fight. And the world of boxing, they was smoking, flaming Amanda Serrano. Every article, the promoters, Eddie Hearn, everybody in the UK, everybody in Ireland, everybody in the US. People was even hitting me up and saying, nah, you don't know their worth. You don't know the business of boxing punch. You don't know the business. And I said, man, she's a 7-figure fighter. I kept on saying she's a 7-figure fighter. Even when Amanda Serrano was saying, at least give me 300,000. I said, nah, mama, you a 7-figure fighter. You was the 7th division world champion. Like reina de boxeo. Amanda Serrano de Carolina, Puerto Rico, New York City, Bushwick. I said, nah, you a 7-figure fighter for a long time, 7-figure fighter. 2 fights later, then she signed with Jake Paul, and then she got secured the deal to fight Katie Taylor in Madison Square Garden. Sold out 20,000 plus in Madison Square Garden. Because she pulled out of negotiation in which everybody in boxing was calling her a duck. Like everybody in boxing is calling Teo a duck. And then the second fight, what happened? Now you got the second fight, Amanda Serrano and Katie Taylor. The second fight was in Dallas, Texas, 73,000 people. So Amanda Serrano got paid $10 million. The highest paid woman in the sport of boxing history. Because she pulled out of the fight where everybody said that she was ducking. And now, once again, the trilogy, she'll be fighting Katie Taylor in Madison Square Garden. And not only, remember, this is because she pulled out of a fight. She signed that deal with MVP, lifetime deal. She is the one that's orchestrating all the females in boxing to sign with Most Valuable Promotion because of that one pullout. Pause. So at the end of the day, you gotta be humble about certain things. Do I want to see Teofimo Lopez beat the crap out of Devin Haney? Yes. Do I want that fight to be in August 16? Yes. Do I care if it's gonna be in Saudi Arabia, New York City, Las Vegas? Yes. I don't give a damn. Just get the fight. Because I always feel that Teofimo Lopez is still going to be the captain of the generation, the commander-in-chief. I've still been saying that since day one. Before he got close to getting a title shot, I've been saying that Teofimo Lopez is the one. But to take over and greatness don't come easy. It comes with a lot of frustrations. Just like Floyd Mayweather was very frustrated with Top Rank. but he still managed to be and garner all that type of all that payday. You think that Oscar De La Hoya was not frustrated with Top Rank? You think that Andre Ward was not frustrated? You think that Mikey Garcia was not frustrated? You don't think that Manny Pacquiao was frustrated right after the Jeff Horn fight? He didn't even want to pay his trainer. He feel like they snaked him. You don't think that Chris Eubank Jr. was frustrated and now look, he is the king of British boxing? When they feel like you get it, I'm going to tell you something about the sport. Let me tell you about the sport of boxing. All right? All fighters, listen up right now. And I ain't trying to be X-rated, and I ain't trying to give you an interpretation of the Rainbow Army. But let me tell you like this: every fighter that walks into the sport of boxing, this was going to happen to you. All right? A la buena or a la mala. You want it smooth or you want it rough? Huh? But you open up them cheeks because you are going to get rammed in the sport of boxing. That is inevitable. All right? Fighters, spread them. Whether it's with sandpaper, whether it's with Diddy baby oil, but you will get yankating. Every fighter in the history of the sport of boxing will get jerked. You're going to get jerked. It's just how bad you're going to get jerked. And if you could live through to tell the stories like Cassie, if you can live through that, you got to overcome that. Yeah, it's like that. I ain't lying. You're going to get jerked. Oh, yeah, you're going to get jerked. Gervonta Davis wasn't happy. Shakur Stevenson hasn't been happy. Bud Crawford was happy with Bob Arum and Top Rank? Oh, every fighter, you great, not great, all of them gets yankating. So when you come to the sport of boxing, turn around, spread them, cough. Because you're going to get wet willied. You are going to get wet willied in boxing. You're not going to evade nothing. You're not going to get away from it, bro. You're not going to get away from it. To be great takes a lot of sacrifice. To be great, Muhammad Ali, did he get effed over? Mike Tyson, did he get effed over? Canelo Alvarez, remember, he secured a deal and then found out in the contract that he didn't even have the power to pick the opponents and blah, 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 blah. We thought that he signed the most lucrative boxing contract in the history of the sport of boxing, and that motherfucker was still was saying that he was getting snaked by Golden Boy Promotions. Wanted to break that contract up. That's just the way it is. That's boxing. Boxing is a wild, wild west. So Teofimo Lopez felt, oh man, he said that Devin Haney is Muslim, Turkey is Muslim. They could be in cahoots. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, I feel like Teofimo Lopez has given Devin Haney this boogeyman aura. What he was saying in the live is like, why would Dev? And I've been saying what I said throughout the lives, what I said in the video. I said that Teofimo Lopez needs to whoop Devin Haney's ass because I believe that Devin Haney has built a career off the back of Teofimo Lopez. I'm not saying, let me rephrase that. I'm not saying that Devin Haney didn't step inside the ring and did what he did with the opportunities that he's gotten, right? I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that every devalue that you got, Teo, every devalue, every discredited has been in the expense of Devin Haney. You didn't get to become the youngest undisputed, lightweight undisputed, because the franchise. And you lost to George Camboso. And the people with the disputing your undisputed is not on paper. Devin Haney got what you really earned. And now he became the youngest undisputed. And he cleaned up your mess in beating George Camboso. right? Devin Haney. Then Devin Haney went to top, and not only that, Devin Haney went to Top Rank, got a pay-per-view event. He fought the same guy that Top Rank was only was giving you $1 million to face George Camboso. Devin Haney got paid more. They was willing to pay Devin Haney more to face George Camboso. And then leading up to the Lomachenko fight, they said this for lightweight undisputed. And when you was going to fight Josh Taylor, they say the former undisputed champion Josh Taylor versus the former unified champion, and they played you. The network played you. The promoters play you in the expense of Devin Haney. You was not considered anymore. It's like ESPN, like they switched it up on you, like you didn't even exist. You're undisputed didn't exist. You was out here telling the world you undisputed. And me as a boxing fan, I know he undisputed. But it's just Punch Drunk Boxing and a few of us. But if you tell me, yo, Punch, go to the record books. I can't find them. Go to the record books. I can't find them. It's unfair. It is. Hold on, where's that? It's unfair. They took this from you, my brother. They took it from you. They took it from you. You understand? They took it from you. And then Devin Haney had the worst performance of his career versus Ryan Garcia, right? Had the worst performance of his career versus Ryan Garcia. Ryan Garcia tested positive for PEDs. Teofimo Lopez makes weight, has coming into that fight May 2nd, Times Square, 5 straight wins. The only champion in the card, the only Ring Magazine champion in a Ring Magazine event, and they have you playing third fiddle to Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia, the most accomplished fighter, and they play you and you opening up for them like the opening act. So I've been saying, how long are you going to let Devin Haney around and not do anything about it? And I'm saying, Tio, it's time to put him out. It's time, baby. The stage is set. The money is there. You agreed on it. He agreed on it. It's written. Ain't nobody stopping it. It's inevitable. Devin Haney looked like he don't even want to fight no more, to be honest. He could collect. He want to collect. But that fight with Jose Ramirez, man, he was running for dear life. Imagine with Teofimo Lopez. Walking into your prime, he looked that sharp as hell. You've been in the gym every single day. And then he said, nah. He said, nah. So when you said agreed, he agreed. Even he said, Teofimo Lopez said, man, call it a duck. The other day, Teofimo Lopez called me a duck. I don't give a damn. A duck is a duck. Just like Jerome Booth and his duck Teofimo Lopez. Teofimo Lopez ducked the fight with Devin Haney, just like Devin Haney ducked the fight with Teofimo Lopez when they send the Top Rank offer. Teofimo Lopez and Devin Haney has ducked each other. On paper. Offers on the table. Offers declined. Both Devin Haney and Teofimo Lopez has ducked each other. Booth Ennis ducked Teofimo Lopez. It's been a duck party going around with these guys that's supposed to take over the sport of boxing. And now everybody looking for business. Everybody being a businessman. And everybody, and I got to say this because we've been on Keyshawn Davis behind, pause. Yo, Tank only care about the business. He don't care about the sport. He don't care about the sport. It looks like everybody's caring about the damn business now. Everybody moving like Tank now. Everybody moving like Tank. In this right now, where we at right now in boxing, everybody moving like Tank. Nah, I don't want to fight. Nah, you got to do, like Tank Davis be like, what these guys are doing? These guys ain't doing nothing. These guys ain't having no highlight reels. That's what Tank said. He said, what Shakur's doing? What none of these guys are doing? They ain't doing nothing. They not doing nothing. Nobody remembers their fight. That's what Tank was saying several interviews ago. The same thing Teo was saying about Devin. What did Devin do? He got to earn it. He got to earn it. He got to earn. He got to perform better. He ain't going to get in the ring. Javante Tank Davis could say the same shit about everybody. Everybody talking like Tank now. Punch better not ever down talk the legends to protect. Lono's boxer said Punch better not down talk the legends to protect these young kids today that duck. What, like Riddick Boeing duck Lennox Lewis? Huh? We can't even go all the way back in the days. They did some ducking back in the days too, Lono's boxing. Them motherfuckers back in the days wasn't perfect anyway. And they didn't, and you know what the thing is, they didn't have that control. Remember, they was getting effed over. Paydays. That's why a bunch of those dudes is broke. So we got to keep it consistent. We were boxing fans back in the day saying, yo, Don King is robbing all these fighters, yo. Don King is robbing all these fighters. We was a fan base like that. Let's not switch up now. We was saying that Don King was robbing these fighters. That shit ain't cute. That ain't fair. And then Al Heyman came along, started putting respect in the pockets of fighters. Yo, Al Heyman ain't shit. Al Heyman ain't shit. He's sucking up the value. He's paying these guys too much money. He's paying these guys too much money. And then Turkey Al Sheikh comes, giving them more money. And they, we like Turkey Al Sheikh. Why you hate Al Heyman though? No, we like Turkey Al Sheikh. But he giving the bag. We love Turkey Al Sheikh, man. I'm saying like this, man. Just as much as these fighters may be bipolar, the boxing fan is bipolar as well. We the same motherfucking fans that be like, why Javante Tank Davis fighting Lamar Roach, man? That fight ain't shit. That fight ain't shit. Yo, that fight ain't shit. And then Lamar Roach does his thing. Yo, Tank ain't shit. No, your analysis ain't shit. Let's be real. You said that this ain't even going to last more than 3 rounds. You said that Edgar Berlanga versus Canelo Alvarez ain't even going to last more than 3 rounds. Yo, Edgar Berlanga think that he's the man because he went 12 rounds with Canelo Alvarez. Well, motherfucker, you said that he's going to get knocked out in 3 rounds. So, yeah, let him feel good about himself. We like to make analysis and predictions and shit like that. Then the fight don't go the way that we said, and then we get mad at them. Nah, we don't be like, I did do wrong, bro. Edgar Berlanga should be happy because I didn't even think he's gonna make it after the 3rd, 4th round. This is why this week we gotta hold Keyshawn Davis and Teofimo Lopez accountable. You already know Teofimo Lopez, my guy. Teofimo Lopez, my guy. I believe that he got all the skills, the talent, the ingredients to be the face of boxing. I believe that Teofimo Lopez got the skills, the ingredients, the style, the accomplishment to be the face of boxing. But let me ask y'all a question in the chat right now. What are the nicknames of Keyshawn and Teofimo Lopez? Remind me. What are the nicknames of Keyshawn and Teo? Can anybody in the chat tell me? No. This. Tell me that. Let's put it in the chat. Because of their entourage, their friends, or maybe they looking at on. Shout out to Keyshawn, shout out to Teofimo Lopez. Y'all already know, man. Teofimo Lopez, my guy. But we break it on boxing logically and objectively. What is the nickname of Teo and what is the nickname of Keyshawn? The takeover. Thank you. Let's just put that because y'all be man slow sometimes. Thank you, Steady Gains. The businessman and the takeover. Did Keyshawn this week live up to his nickname? Did Teofimo Lopez this week live up to his nickname? The businessman. Oh man, he dropped business. No, the business, he did bad business this week. You lost your old purse. Your team lost their purse. 2,000 plus tickets was refunded. Probably you're going to get fined. Effed up your brand. That's bad business. The takeover. If they would have announced Teofimo Lopez versus Devin Haney August 16th, and you beat the crap out of Devin Haney, and that's the takeover of this contemporaries, because of the most accomplished fighters of this young generation is Teofimo Lopez and Devin the Dream Haney. You beat Devin Haney. The takeover. Devin Haney's more accomplished than Tank. Devin Haney is probably more accomplished than Shakur Stevenson. Devin Haney is more accomplished than Ryan Garcia. Tio is more accomplished, but just like by a hair. Resume is better, but he does got undisputed. He got lineal one time. You got two-time lineal. He's undefeated. You're not. He beat the guy that beat you. You take over. That's the takeover fight. That's it. I am invested in the takeover. Just like we're invested of any nickname. And people gonna be like, man, that's just a nickname, bro. That's just a nickname. Nah. Because I remember when Keith one-time Thurman stopped knocking people out. They was calling him what? Once upon a time. Run time. You build a reputation of fighting whoever they put in front of you. Legacy fights. Devin Haney versus Teofimo Lopez is a legacy fight. I don't agree with anybody that says it's not. You're lying to yourself. It's either you hate Devin Haney so much, and you support Teofimo Lopez so much that you will just take every word. No. Teofimo Lopez versus Devin Haney is a legacy fight. Of this young generation is a legacy fight. And anybody that says it's not is lying through their teeth. Now, the fair thing to say is, does Devin Haney and Teofimo Lopez has momentum? Does that fight has momentum? I say no, it doesn't have, because Devin Haney's performances didn't have momentum. After the fight, a lot of people wasn't talking about Devin Haney's fighting. A lot of people was talking about why he was running. I don't want to see Devin Haney fight no more. I ain't gonna pay to see Devin Haney. All that stuff. That was the week. We was actually thinking that we was gonna get Teofimo Lopez and Jerome Boots Ennis. We wasn't even thinking about Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney. We didn't even want to see them back in the ring. Not the week. But then when Boots Ennis is out, Ryan Garcia is out, Rolly is saying that I'm not even going to fight Devin Haney. Forget about Devin Haney. I'm going to do my own thing. And he's dissing Turkey out shaking how the way he got paid. Then it's Tio and Haney. Why not? August 16th. Let's get it done. A fight that's been one of the most marinated fights in the sport of boxing. And social in the building with the $5 super chat. Good looking out, man. God bless you. The only fight that I will pay to watch is Keyshawn fight is against his daddy, Andy Cruz. That's a fight that needs to take place, and Andy Cruz is getting at Keyshawn. Watch Haney talking to another. And to be honest, folks, I've heard Tio explain it. I heard Ryan Garcia, he put it out there in social media. I heard Keyshawn Davis. We heard Javonta Tank Davis said these guys need therapy. Yo, let me say it like this. I'm trying to understand. I'm trying to understand this era. I'm trying to understand this era. Why all these fighters have like mental issues? Like, look, I can understand. It makes sense. It's making logical sense. These guys been getting hit in the head for years, ever since they was kids. That's the nature, man. They be getting in the head. I don't, and I said this the other day. I don't expect these fighters to really be all there. No disrespect. It's because their line of work is getting minor concussions after minor concussions after minor concussions, whether in a fight or in sparring. I want the sanctioning bodies or federations that the sanctioning fees, the belt fees, whatever. I wish it could go to a mandatory mental wellness therapy. For real. Because to be honest, I'm tired of hearing these mental issues that these fighters have, bro. I'm not trying to be. I know that life could be hard for other people, but man, and the women are looking up to us. They counting on men to not be beta males, bro. They counting on men to be alphas, to lead, to channel the emotions. Because I'm gonna say it like this, ladies and gentlemen, in a household, I don't know if you the man of the house. I don't know if you're that type to say, we're partners. We're 50-50. You know what I'm saying? That's not just my wife or my girl. That's my partner. No. Somebody de Dios. The men are the extension of God. Man in Christ and man over woman, woman over children. That's the order of God. I ain't gonna switch up for none of y'all, right? I ain't gonna switch up for the community and the new society that there is. You know what I'm saying? They know we're 50-50. We're not better than the women. Women ain't better than us, but we got different roles, all right? We got different roles. I'm gonna tell you like this: if a man is panicking in a household, the wife is gonna panic double, and the church is gonna panic triple. But if things are going bad, but the man is strong with strong personality and stuff like that, and everything is gonna be great. Everything's gonna be all right, woman. I got this. That woman gonna be like, I'm rocking with you. All right, he's confident. Don't worry, hubby, daddy. He's the kids don't know nothing. You remember back in the days when we're mad poor, but we really don't think that we're poor because el papa. He handles business. If he has to work 2 jobs, 3 jobs, and stuff like that, just handle business. He was the provider, had no feelings. Tú sabes. No, you're wrong. I'm sorry, Shy, but you're wrong. You're wrong mucho, yeah. I'm going through this, you know what I'm saying? I'm going through this, and I'm going through that. Everybody going through something. Damn, man. Everybody going through something. Punch, you better give T that motivational speech. And man, I'm giving it to all of them, bro. I'm giving it to all of them. Oh, you don't think I know everybody here has been through something? Probably still going through something. But damn. Come on, I know. Somebody could be dying. Somebody dies. Somebody is sick. Fathers here lose custody of their kids. Divorces, losing jobs, losing a relationship. I know it gets hard. I know. But when it comes to the sport of boxing, successful mother effers, bro. Complaining about Ryan Garcia. Shout out to Ryan Garcia. Mental. Keyshawn Davis. Mental. Tio going through some stuff. Jamal Charlo go through some stuff. Danny Silva Garcia, remember the post-fight interview, going through some stuff. Adrian Broner go through some stuff. Earl Spence going through some stuff. Everybody going through some stuff. Everybody going through some stuff. What the fuck is going on with y'all? What the fuck? Por qué? Hey. I think people get paid to go online and say, I got mental illness. Life and. So I'm saying that I wish that the sanctioning bodies, that little fee that they pay, go to a mandatory therapy. Matter of fact, I'm going to do the live. Any fighters, this is therapy session punch drunk boxing. Hey yo, man. I know the ladies out here also looking. You know what I'm saying? But men, To be honest, bro. Hey, yo, they try. I don't know if it's the soil. They putting a lot of soil in a bunch of food. I don't know if the new ingredients, but they soften. The men's are softening up, bro. They trying to soften us up. We got to be a little more strict. Look, Shy gonna be like, I know, Punch. Turning me off and shit tonight. Right, Shy? There you go. See the lady talking about, yeah, you motherfuckers is weak out here. Shit. I need a fucking man. I need a man. Shout out to Shy. See? She's with it. Right, Shy? Hey, yo, let the women talk. Hey, yo, Shy, tell the fellas, what do you feel about this new generation of men? Let me see what Shy says. Because, see, sometimes you got to listen to the women. Because when they're in the salon, they talking about it. Just like we in the barbershop, we talking about these ladies. Shy, hey, yo, Shy, what do you feel? Let's see what Shy going right. Shy, what do you feel about these generation of men? Let me see. Maybe she disagree with me. I don't know. What do you feel? Let the men know. Maybe you see them as strong and compassionate more than ever. Maybe you see them ungodly, unrighteous, weak. I don't know. But I feel like, tell the men. There's enough men out. We got 187 people. Smash that like button. Gen Z. Dan, Keyshawn should get paid a fine and get suspended for 2 years. To be honest, nah. I don't think that Keyshawn Davis should get suspended. I don't think that Keyshawn Davis should get fined. Come on, Shy. We waiting on you, Shy. Don't be shy, Shy. Tell these men what your homegirls be talking about when y'all go to the salon and have y'all little sister circles and shit like that. Go have y'all brunch on Sunday afternoon. Tell these men, Shy. Tell them, Shy, what y'all beautiful ladies be talking about these weak ass men nowadays, man. That's why you see some. Hey, yo, that's why that's why nowadays you see a bunch of good looking girls dating dykes. I think that there needs to be some recognition for what men go through. I like you. See, Shy. She think about the men. She knows what men go through. Right? I like that answer. I do like that answer. It's true. Because we go through some shit. But it's laid out for that, though. It's laid out for us to go through some shit. Let's read the Bible. It is. Say it like this. If damn Eve ain't listen to the damn snake and the serpent, I told you how that story goes. I don't know if y'all new to the channel. Y'all know how did y'all know about the Adam and Eve story? You know how it went down, right? I know. I'm gonna say it for the new people. Sometimes we got to repeat ourselves because we got new people coming along and stuff like that. We got to repeat ourselves. This is the reason why men and women are. This is the reason why we in the situation we in right now, right? Let me tell you like this: men are weak for women. Women, their DNA is just they never satisfy. All right. Let me say it like this: men are weak for women. Women are not weak for men. They just ain't never satisfied. You can never satisfy a lady. If God Almighty never satisfy a girl, what makes you think you're going to satisfy a woman? You know that, right, man? Man, ain't no woman ever satisfied. Hey, yo, I don't give a damn if a woman say, yes, I am. If a man does this and that, yeah, I'm satisfied. A woman ain't never satisfied, just like a man is weak for men. That's the weakness of women, that they're never satisfied. The weakness of men is women. I'll break it down for you. I don't know if you read the Bible, but I'm going to give you the rated R version. So y'all know about Adam and Eve eating the apple, right? Y'all know about that. Eating from the forbidden garden. Y'all already know about that. But what happened? Y'all already know that God said, I'm going to give you paradise. Just think about paradise, folks. When we're talking about God's paradise, we're talking about paradise. We ain't talking about Coney Island, Ocha Beach in the Bronx. We're talking about paradise. If you think that Punta Cana is paradise, now we're talking about God's paradise. God said, Adam, I'm going to give you a helper. Just think about God, right? Adam was in the image of God. So thinking about how God is, probably Adam had a 6'8" pack, all jacked up. You know what I'm saying? The image of God. Un tigre bonito, ¿verdad? Un tigre bueno, ¿verdad? And then his helper, probably, man, when he made the first woman, If you see a bunch of good-looking women and stuff like that, that comes from the first. Sometimes you have two ugly people and they can make a good-looking baby, right? And then, well, you can make a pretty woman come out two ugly people. I'm just saying, right? Ugly is a bad word, but you understand what I'm trying to say, right? All right. Eve must have been looking good. Adam was top of the line. GQ magazine, el hombre, ¿verdad? Paradise, blue beast, white sand, all the best fruits, all the good animals. You know what I'm saying? God gave you everything. All God said, just don't eat from this bush. Let me give you an example, ladies and gentlemen. This is the reason why men are weak for women and women ain't never satisfied. All God said, think about somebody giving you paradise, giving you all the food, the fruits, hey, yo, for the women, he got you a man that is that looks like the image of God. And God, hey, yo, she came from your rib. Remember, Eve came from his rib. You know what I'm saying? Coca-Cola body. He gave Adam a Coca-Cola body woman and Adam in the image of God. I gave you all the fruits, all the vegetables. Everything is good. The paradise, just don't eat from the little bush. Let me. A matter of fact, let me give you the voice.
Adam, Eve, I will give you paradise, the blue beach, the white sand, the great nutrition fruits and vegetables. You will make love and have sex, wild sex in the wild of our paradise. You will feed the animals, the birds. This is paradise. All I ask is for you two, the man and the woman, Eve, Adam, not to eat from the forbidden garden. Do you understand? Do you understand, Adam and Eve?
Yes. Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. Is in order. The devil knew that he can't fake Adam. But you know what the devil knew? That women are weak. Women could be easily manipulated. Just like they're manipulated right now. And the snake, the devil saying, Eve, what you mean that you can eat from the forbidden fruit? Go eat that. I mean, come on, man. Look at all that thing. God ain't gonna do nothing to you. God ain't gonna do nothing to you. And because she's not, think about this, folks. You got everything, but this bitch wants to eat from the forbidden fruit, from the forbidden tree. Esta tigra, this fucking bitch has everything, paradise. A bucket of man with all the fruits and vegetables, paradise, motherfuckers. Listen to me, paradise. And this bitch still want to eat from the forbidden tree. So this girl eats from the forbidden tree. Adam, I don't know if y'all read the Bible. Y'all understand what I'm trying to say. I'm giving y'all the rated R version. And then Adam goes, Mujer, woman, what the hell you doing? What was that fruit? No, I got it from this bush. Do you want apple? Eat it. No, Eve, what you doing? You know what God said? That we got everything. We're not supposed to eat from that tree. What are you doing, Eve? Do you want pussy tonight? Adam, if you don't eat this apple, and then she's playing and she go like this with her tetas and stuff like that, and then she put it all the way down here. Adam, if you don't eat this apple, papi, you're not gonna get this punani. And because men are weak for women, what we did? I'm going to tear that pussy up tonight. Right? That's what happened. That's why they say a woman is a man's downfall. It started from the beginning. This shit ain't just happened 20, 35 years ago. That motherfucker ate that, man. He ate the damn little tip, that little brown tip of the apple, man. He didn't even choke on that shit. I love you. Yes, I'm going to tear that apple. I'm going to give me that veggie. I'm going to ride you to the sunset, to the sundown. God came out of nowhere.
Adam, Eve, what the fuck do you have done?
What you talking about, God? Damn, Eve, you made me eat the apple, bitch. What you talking about, God?
Why are you covering yourself? Look at you, all horny and shit. And why you all wet, bitch? Didn't I tell both of y'all not to eat from the forbidden tree, you stupid fuckers?
Oh, yeah. God has his wrath. He was cursing them out. You know what I'm saying? Remember, God also created the devil, Lucifer. The beautiful, his beautiful angel, Lucifer.
Now, you're gonna be punished. Men, you're gonna be working from sunday, sundown. You're gonna be working to the scabs of your feet is all scraped up from your hands. You're gonna suffer. You're gonna be the person who gonna suffer. And woman, you're gonna give hard labor. You're gonna give hard labor. You're gonna get treated like shit too. Alright? Apologize to me. And through all these years, I'll give you some breaks from here and there, but I'll send over a Messiah, hook y'all up.
That's the virgin. People don't want to say that. Punch the churches each on Sunday. he said, yo, Punch, chill. Hey, yo, I'm gonna say it like this, man. Shout out to my grandmother. She just passed away two months ago. And I said this, yo, because I was bad comedic when I was young. So I said this story to my grandmother just like that. She said, mira, Eddie, no juega con la cosa de Dios. Eddie, no juega con la cosa de Dios. Pero lo dice ahí, abuela, ¿por qué se comió la manzana de esa tigra? ¿Ah? Porque Dios le dijo a ella que no se la come, pero se la quiere comer porque yo creo que le voy a dar sexo, que le voy a dar la teta a Aaron y tenía que comer la manzana porque si no se la come, él no puede comer chocha. Oh shit. I'll tell you, bro. I'll tell you. That's how it went. That's how it went, folks. So, in conclusion, forgive him, Lord. Lord is laughing. Yo, Lord, God has a sense of humor. He know what I'm saying is the truth. The thing is, I'm giving you the modern day story. You know what I'm saying? Every man know we're weak for women, and women never satisfy, right? And women don't never say, yo, you can tell, first and foremost, yo, you meet a girl, right? You meet a girl. Let's be honest. You meet a girl, and then you on the first couple of dates, and you'll all agree with each other, right? What you like to do? I don't care. I just want to be with you. I don't matter where I go. We could go for walks. We go to the movies. I don't give a fuck. I just want to be with you. Just me seeing you is all right. I'm good. I'm satisfied. All right. You take it to the pizza shop. You take it to Kentucky Fried Chicken. You take it to let's have a little Netflix day. Huh? You go out to a bar here and there. And then little by little is we don't do nothing. But what you talking about? We don't do nothing. We chill every day. We have sex every day. We go eat to restaurants. We have takeouts and stuff like that. I listen to your stupid ass stories that I don't even listen to. Blah blah. We don't do nothing. We just don't do. I want to do more things, and then you okay? Let's travel more. So then you start going on getaways. You go to Miami. You go to Miami. You go to LA. You go to Mexico. Go Cancun. I want a long, and then she gets tired of going to weekends getaway. So now she wants a long weekend, like long week. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's go somewhere. I want to travel around the world. Yeah. Let's do more. Like, you work too much, but you don't get trabajar. I gotta work, so get the money and stuff like that. But I want more time. But then we live with each other. What do you mean the more time? Yeah, but when you here, you're not here. You're not here. All right. You start going to Europe, start going to Tokyo. You start going to Tokyo, start going to Europe, start going to Africa. Huh? I want to find spirituality. We become Christian. Then after that, I don't know if I'm feeling it, that we become Muslim. I don't know if I'm feeling it. We become Buddhist. We become every religion. We became every religion. We believe in every God. We believe we eat every food in-house. That's what you don't want to eat out? No, I want to eat more veggies. I want to become a vegan. And you become a vegan, you start cooking and stuff like that. Still not satisfied. Hey, yo, to the point where it'd be like, we travel all over the world already. I want to travel out of space. You know what I'm saying? I just want to leave the world and have a journey. I want to leave the world. And then you take her to Pluto and you take her to Mars. And then when you go to take her to Mars and Pluto, she still be like, I want to go beyond that. Y tú le llevas pa'l día, todo hell to heaven. And the women are never satisfied. You can take them everywhere. You take it from Africa to Tokyo to Australia to Antarctica, the penguins, everything. And then you take it down to another planet. Still not satisfied. Then you take it to damn heaven. She didn't like it. She want to go to hell. It's too hot. Women ain't never satisfied. Mira, papus. mira papus. Papus. Look at papus and Clarissa Shields. Hey, yo, this motherfucker did something that men really don't do. Hey, yo. Papoose did something that men usually don't do. He rocked with Remy Martin. He rocked with Remy Martin for what? 10 years in jail, 8 years, 9 years, whatever her sentence was, right? No man do that. This man waited for her, acted like he was faithful. Now I rock with her, writing love letters. You heard what Remy Martin said? She said that he was visiting me every day. Every day. Everybody knows that, and everybody knows that had a friend, brother, sister, cousin, whoever, father, uncle that's been locked up. Just going to visit. It's like just visiting once a week is like, that's it. Like going to a visit is like if you was traveling from here to like Europe and back. It's just so draining, right? And then the motherfuckers want to talk to you like you locked up, making you go back and forth for the call. Oh no, you can't have this. You can't bring this. You can't bring this. You got a list of shit that you could bring, and you bring the shit that's on the list. Now you can't bring this today. Blah blah. They make your life miserable, right? Papoose was going to see Remy Martin every motherfucking day, and look at right now. Look how dirt that she be talking about this guy. Because she never satisfied. La mujer is never satisfied con nada. Now he look like a pendejo. Now with the worst. Now está con Clarissa Shields. But anyway. I believe this week that Keyshawn Davis and Teofimo Lopez did not live up to their nicknames, the businessman and the takeover. And everything was lined up for Teofimo Lopez to take his career up a notch, not only enhancing his legacy, enhancing his resume with another undefeated fighter on record, and Devin Haney, most accomplished fighter, one of the most accomplished fighters of this young generation. Add him to your resume, beat him, gain everything that you've been the funds that you've been wanting, right? You've been telling the whole world. Teofimo Lopez has been telling the whole world that he doesn't get paid that much. He's the one that sold, even though that it wasn't accurate, because Teofimo Lopez have made more than $1 million. He made more than $1 million versus George Cambosa when Triller outbid Top Rank and Eddie Hearn, and then Eddie Hearn took over. He gained $4 million that night, $3.9 million, right? He made more than $1 million. Now with tax and baby mama and stuff like that, I don't know where that goes to, but purse-wise, Teofimo Lopez made more money. But the thing is, it's on record that Teofimo Lopez is always complaining about how he does not get paid. And we understand that the contract that he signed, that we should hold Turkey Al Sheikh accountable for not sticking to the agreement that he's been making with these fighters. Because I'm gonna tell you that the misconception is, or the perception of Turkey Al Sheikh is that this guy's giving the bag to everybody, this overwhelming bag that nobody could, that is like, if Shakur Stevenson and Teofimo Lopez, two guys that don't even see eye to eye, saying the same thing about Turkey, two different type of situations, there got to be some validity to it, right? And I also want to end this shame game. There's a shame game that's going on in the sport of boxing that, but you never made this kind of money in your career, so take it. I mean, that's a shame thing. I really don't like that. Like, I understand that talking point, but it's not a fair one. It's almost like if I tell you, well, you never made more than $20 an hour. You know what I'm saying? So take this $21 an hour, but really you should be getting paid $30 an hour. But you never got paid $21. I'm giving you more money than you ever got paid. Why you don't take the $21? No, but because when I did the interview, you promised me when I did the interview, and the job entails that I was gonna get paid $30 an hour, and then you hire me, and then now you telling me that now you hiring me and telling me that you're gonna pay me $21 an hour, but in my application, I said that I haven't got paid. My last job was $18 an hour or $20 an hour. You understand what I'm trying to say? Let me clean that shit up. Let me do it again. Let me clean that shit up. You file an application, and in certain application it says what you earn in your last job. You know what I'm saying? And you put, I earned $20 an hour. That was my last job. I was getting paid $20 an hour. But this job right here that I applied for, saying that we're gonna pay you $30 an hour, right? We're gonna pay you $30 an hour. Peep this. Listen up. You go to the interview. You do good in the interview. You get the job. Then when you come to orientation, they tell you you're gonna get paid $21 an hour. Yeah, but in the interview that I was gonna get paid $30 an hour. But in all reality, no, you're gonna get $30 once you do the two-year probation thing. You know what I'm saying? Almost like union jobs. Like you don't get the full pay to 2 years or 2 years and a half. I don't know how it is, whatever union you in, but you know what I'm talking about: union, airport jobs, residential, co-op, hospital jobs, and stuff like that, right? Where the first 2 years or 1 year and a half or 2 years and a half, you don't get the max, right? Oh, but I thought I was gonna get paid $30 an hour. Yeah, but no, you're gonna get paid 20. But why you got a problem when you never got paid like that? We're paying you more than you ever got paid in your life. Would y'all be happy, ladies and gentlemen? That's not the point. The point is not that you're gonna give me $5 million. $5.5 million is what they told Teo that he's gonna get paid to fight Devin Haney. Yeah, I'm gonna be making more money than I ever made in a fight, but that's not what we agreed upon. We agreed on that $11 million. See, y'all trying to shame Teofimo Lopez to fight Devin Haney for $5.5 million because y'all feel that he never made $5.5 million. So he should just get the money and fight. But that's not what he agreed on the contract. He agreed that my second fight is going to be $11.5 million. If you're not even giving me money for my second fight, I'm supposed to make more money in my third fight. You ain't even going to give me that money in the third fight. If I take this fight, the third fight in February 2026, you're not going to pay me. You understand, folks? If Teofimo Lopez takes the $5.5 million to fight Devin Haney, in his third fight, he's supposed to make close to $20 million. But if you getting paid, if you take the $5.5 million, what makes you think that in the third fight, if he's not even making, if he's not satisfying the agreement in the second fight, what makes you think he's going to satisfy Teofimo Lopez in the third fight? He's going to be like, well, take $7 million. I mean, you never got paid like that in your career. But we already agree on the deal. I already signed this deal. I already agreed to the terms. I already signed this term. You understand what I'm trying to say? Okay, Devin Haney, right? Top rank offered Devin Haney $2.4 million. Right? $2.4 million. Devin Haney said, I ain't gonna take that. No, because of business. I'd rather work with Turkey Al Sheikh. See, he didn't care about getting the Teofimo Lopez fight, no matter how much money it is. At that time, Devin ain't had no deal on the table at that time when he got offered the Teofimo Lopez fight from Top Rank. But Devin Haney made a business decision not to get the fight. Now, cool. You're going to get paid more to fight, what, Jose Ramirez? But let's not forget, to get these fights, they had to go against what they believed in. They sued Golden Boy Promotions. They dropped the lawsuits to get that payday. I mean, it's life-changing money, but life-changing circumstances. It's like I told you about Amanda Serrano. Amanda Serrano was going to get paid $200K, the most that she ever got paid. But that wasn't the point. See, there's certain people that they have a ceiling. And this is something that we got to be humble about. Your ceiling is not my ceiling. You may think that is good for me because maybe you think is enough for you. And sometimes we got to humble ourselves. The only thing that makes it difficult when in the Teofimo Lopez situation is because Teofimo Lopez publicly goes and say he don't get paid this X amount of dollars. So when the X amount of dollars appear that he's making more money than he's ever made, now the whole world of boxing is saying, yo, okay, Teo, you've been bitching about all these paydays and all these low ball deals that you've been getting. Now you getting this life-changing money that you also didn't agree on, but agreed on. Right? Because that's why you apologize for and you will verbally agree on the deal. So, boom. The public is going to say, but Teo, take the fight. Haven't you always argued about not getting paid this X amount of dollars and now Turkey Al Sheikh is giving you the bag? Is the things that's been said in the past set him up for people to criticize him like that. Now, let's say if Teofimo Lopez never would have said how much he got paid or how much he's not getting paid, then I don't think the fans will be going at Teofimo Lopez and saying, yo, take this deal. That's the most money you ever got paid. Let's not forget that Triller purse bid was $6.2 million. You know, Teo got a case for not taking the fight with Devin Haney. And then there's a case for him to take the fight. Because now the question is what he's going to do next. Oh, he got options. Those are hypothetical options, though. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he did have the options to face Richardson Hitchens before Kambosos. I don't know if Richardson Hitchens wanted to take the fight or their manager just chose to go through these routes and take these routes better. But isn't it too late to get the gifts? And also is also what he said about going out there thinking that this is all set up for Devin Haney to win. I don't think that Teofimo Lopez believed that he could knock out Devin Haney. Not knock out, but it's not going to be easy to knock him out, because if you feel like that, you just take you'll take the fight and you don't even got to think about the judges. I think that in this situation, I think that Teofimo Lopez overthought the situation with Devin Haney. You know what I'm saying? The possibility of getting robbed out there in Saudi. Yeah, but the Lopez felt that they got robbed with George Kambosos dealing with Eddie Hearn. So what makes you think that, and this is what we got to talk about. We got to talk about everything. We got to put everything on the table. If Teofimo Lopez feels he's going to get robbed, that Devin Haney is in cahoots and Bill Haney's in cahoots. He said that Bill Haney and Devin Haney is corrupted, right? So if he feels like they're corrupted, he feels like the team of the Turkey and Devin Haney is going to collude in robbing him, right? Allegedly, that's the feeling, that's the aura of the sentiment that what he's saying, right? He feels that he got robbed with George Kambosos with Eddie Hearn. So why would he feel comfortable? Because we were talking about other options. The other options we was talking about was was Richardson Hitchens and George Kambosos, the winner of Richardson Hitchens and George Kambosos. If you feel that Eddie Hearn was a part of you getting robbed with George Kambosos, why would you face George Kambosos if he beats Richardson Hitchens? And this time, George Kambosos is signed to Eddie Hearn. When you fought him, he wasn't signed to Eddie Hearn. So what makes you think that you won't get robbed over here in New York again? Because he felt like he got robbed in New York, in his hometown where he was born. What makes you think that in the second fight you won't get robbed? Richardson Hitchens with Eddie Hearn. What makes you think that you're not going to get robbed? Because you felt that Eddie Hearn robbed you. So what's the other option? PBC, he said Tank. There's still a possibility with Tank. Did the whole world saw what happened with Tank and Lamont Roach? Did Lamont Roach get robbed in broad daylight? Yes or no? Did Lamont Roach get robbed in broad daylight? Twice. In the ring, and when the New York State Athletic Commission saw the tape, saw him take a knee, saw him turn back, go to the corner, get his face wiped, and they still left the decision as it is. So what makes you think that you're going to get the benefit of the doubt with Gervonta Davis and PBC? What makes you think you're going to get the benefit of the doubt with Richardson Hitchens or George Kambosos with Eddie Hearn? What's your options? What's the options? Anybody in the chat could tell me? What's the options? My brother HLD, what's the options? Karate Kid, talk to me. Joshua, what's the options for Tio? He feels he's gonna get robbed. Now Hitchens and Kambosos, but Teofimo, but Cotto, that's what I said. But guess what? He feels that he got robbed with George Kambosos, and Eddie Hearn has something to do with it. George Kambosos and Richardson Hitchens is signed to Eddie Hearn. You think that he wants that option? That's the option that you think he wants because he's worried about getting robbed. He's worried about the collude of him getting robbed. Let's be real. Let's be honest. So if let's say I'm like, yo, Tio, watch how they're gonna rob you. I won't tell him to take the Richardson Hitchens fight, and I won't even tell him to take the George Kambosos fight, the rematch, and I won't tell him to go out there to Reha season and fight Devin the Dream Haney. So who I want him to fight? Oh, guess what? Who else is with Eddie Hearn? Jerome Boots Ennis. So Jerome Boots Ennis is with Eddie Hearn. Richardson Hitchens is with Eddie Hearns. George Kambosos is with Eddie Hearns. They blame should be on Lou DiBella, not Eddie. Lou DiBella signed a deal with Aaron, but see, that's not who he blames it on. He blames it on Eddie Hearn. Teofimo Lopez never blamed it on Lou DiBella. And Lou DiBella wasn't even invited in the ring. Remember, Lou DiBella, Eddie Hearn wasn't even seeing eye to eye. They was having friction behind the scenes. Eddie Hearn came out with George Kambosos, not even Lou DiBella. So, in his public records, Tio blamed it, and still to this day don't feel that he got robbed by George Kambosos. So, Eddie Hearn is the promoter of Jerome Boots Ennis, Richardson Hitchens, George Kambosos. What makes you think that he's not going to rob you with them? Come on now. Any answers? Any answers? Anybody? Anybody in the chat? Right? And guess what? What he said about Top Rank. He said he only pays promotional fee, but I could do whatever I want. Meaning that Top Rank is not going to be, is not around for him for them to even protect the investment. I only got to pay them sanctioning fee. No protection. Bob Aaron's not going to go out there and talk for him and promote for him and stuff like that. No. Stay away. Stay away, Top Rank. I'll pay you my sanctioning fee. Just let me do my thing with my manager and my attorneys. Just stay away from me, and I'll get you that promotional fee. But get the fuck out of my life. I signed a contract with y'all, but I give you the promotional fee. But stay away of my business. And I got y'all. So what's his protection going to when he fight Boots, to when he fight Hitchens, to when he fight George Kambosos, if he believes that when he fought George Kambosos in New York City, he got robbed because of Eddie Hearn. Now he doesn't trust Turkey Out Shake. He don't trust Eddie Hearn. Talk to me. What's the options? Give me one second. Give me one second. He said, fight Albright. I think that's what Keyshawn Davis need to do, Karate Kid. Fight Albright. I want... Everybody knows in this community, bro, I'm a TO guy. One of the main supporters. Still going to be 100% supporting Teofimo Lopez, but me supporting it is also keep it what I feel is real enough. Now, I'm not going to say that I'm right. I'm not going to say that I know everything what I'm talking about, because at the end of the day, the business of boxing is his business. It's his career. I feel that he's in a great position right now. I feel like Teofimo Lopez is in a wonderful position right now when he was working with Turkey Out Shake, and the PBC is showing him love and you know what I'm saying, him with his manager, right? I think that the Devin Haney fight would have taken and beating him, having him on his resume, especially that look, I'm gonna tell you something about Devin Haney, Teofimo Lopez, Shakur Stevenson, Gervonta Davis, and Ryan Garcia. Till they retire, they're always going to be attached to one another. They've been promoted together. Whether they're not in the same entity, promotional entity, they're been hyped up together. The next 4 kings, 5 kings, 4 kings, whatever you want to talk about it. When you talk to Tank Davis, you're going to mention Shakur. You're going to mention Teo. You're going to mention Haney. When you talk to Ryan, you're going to mention Haney. You're going to mention Shakur. You're going to mention Teo. When you talk to Teo, you're going to mention Haney. You're going to mention Ryan. You're going to mention Tank. They can never run away from each other. They're always attached to one another. And I feel like it's inevitable that now walking into his prime and looking the way that he looked versus a caliber of fighter that actually fights a little bit like a Devin Haney outside of the running, because Devin Haney doesn't run all the time. But when Barbosa and Devin Haney have a little bit similarities in time, a type of style outside of the running. Teofimo Lopez is looking so sharp, so dedicated, walking around in 5 pounds out of his weight limit. This guy physically, mentally is so dedicated. He's probably in the gym right now. I don't think that the Teofimo Lopez that's working on all cylinders, man, I don't think he could be beat within his contemporaries and within his weight divisions that he's campaigning. Now, some of y'all may disagree. Cool. Y'all always gonna go back, but he lost to George Kambosos. When Teofimo Lopez is working on all cylinders, when his intellect and physical ability is coexisting at the highest level, I don't believe nobody could beat Teofimo Lopez. So when I say fight Devin Haney, man, fight Devin Haney and then fight again in December and collect another payday, then fight again in February and collect another fucking $15 million payday. Because after you take away Devin Haney, what does Turkey Al-Sheikh got? He got a Ryan Garcia. Ryan Garcia, you could get that in the third fight and get your $15 million or the $20 million right there. Get Devin Haney right now, take him out. After you really wipe out Devin Haney, I think if Teo wiped out Devin Haney, ain't nobody gonna be talking about it. Who you want to see Devin Haney fight next? After his performance versus Ryan Garcia, then Jose Ramirez, and then gets beaten by Teofimo Lopez. What's next for Devin Haney? What's next for Devin Haney? After his performance with Ryan Garcia, his performance Jose Ramirez, and then he gets beaten by Teofimo Lopez. What's next for Devin Haney? Just like you killed the narrative in the 140-pound division with the Catterall, when people thought that, but Catterall beat Josh Taylor. He really beat him. And they was trying to devalue Teofimo Lopez beating Josh Taylor because a lot of people believe that Catterall beat Josh Taylor before Josh Taylor fought Teofimo Lopez. And then Arnold Barbosa beats Catterall. Catterall beats Josh Taylor. Teofimo Lopez beat Barbosa. He killed the whole narrative in the 140-pound division. Now, you lost to George Kambosos. Devin beat George Kambosos. Loma beats, people thought that Loma beat Devin Haney. Loma knocked out George Kambosos, and then you beat Devin Haney, and you erase that fucking narrative of George Kambosos. This is, the stars align itself for him to kill the whole narrative in 1 year. To kill the whole narrative from 135, the George Kambosos, the Devin Haney, the 140-pound, the whole narrative in 1 year. Fighter of the year, trainer of the year, make the most money you ever made in your life. You fight in August. Matter of fact, you fight in August. Matter of fact, you beat him in August, and you have the rest of the year to gather, to to fight for your son and all that stuff. The holidays coming, and then you do what you need to do, and then go February 2026 back in the, in the end of December, go back to the gym, and then get ready for February. Let me know. Does my plan sound good? Does my plan sound legit? Or is it, nah, man, shut up, Punch. Let Tio do what he got to do. I'm like, of course. We're talking like boxing fans now. How does my plan sound? How does my plan sound? Because the narrative, thank you, Karate Kid. You know why? Because what he's already said publicly about the possibility of him getting effed over out there in Saudi because of Devahini and cahoots with Turkey, and then not getting paid like that. Saying, he could get effed over, but you feel like that you got effed over before George Campbell. He said, I learned from the George Cambosa situation. If you learn from the George Cambosa situation, I'm gonna give it to you. Let me see if I got it right here in his own words. Teofimo Lopez said, I learned from the George Cambosa situation. If you learn from the George Cambosa situation, you blame that Eddie Hearn effed you over. Why you think that you wouldn't be effed over with Jerome Busenis? See, I want Tio when he's saying things publicly, and I love his transparency, but also not to shoot himself on the foot. You understand what I'm trying to say? His transparency is great, but also I wouldn't want him to shoot himself on the foot. Thus me speaking real as a supporter and as a friend. Because as a friend, you wouldn't want anybody to be like, yo, nah, don't say that, because now they're going to say this. Don't say that, because now you're giving a window of opportunity for them to say. And then the answer is, well, I don't give a fuck what they say, then it is what it is. But guess what? I have integrity too. Yo no me voy a volver loco también. Yo no voy a decir ningún mentira. I'm going to keep it real. My support is real. My support is not being a yes man to nobody. He doesn't deserve anybody to be a yes man. That's not a good circle. A good circle is people that's going to be supportive, be real, take weight off it. I'm gonna tell you something about a team in boxing. A good team of support is a team that takes weight off your shoulder. Pushes everything aside, let the man concentrate in his training and stuff like that. He don't have to fight the haters. His supporters fight the haters. He don't have to prove the haters wrong. He just got to prove his supporters right. Everyone's stressed out, but Tio, that should tell us all that everyone's stressed out, but Tio. You think, HLD, no te haga, HLD, no te haga. Yo soy Punch. No haga de que he's not stressed out. Ese está stressed out, mi hermano. Y por eso que yo estoy hablando así. No lo diga así. Porque yo lo conozco muy bien a él. No te lo haga. He's stressed out también. He's stressed out. You know what it is, Punch. All these fighters in today's day and age are spoiled fighters. Back then, really struggled easier for them. Unfortunately, they effing up the bag. again, it's a catch-22, right? Is I understand. I just feel like it's an easy payday, easy fight. I think that Devin, I think he wouldn't even get a nosebleed. When's the last time this guy gave anybody a nosebleed? Devin Haney. ¿Qué le va a hacer a Tio? ¿Qué va a hacer Devin Haney? Nada. The prediction of the fight is Teofimo Lopez gonna catch him. That's the prediction of the fight. The prediction of the fight ain't even a fight. The prediction of Tio versus Devin Haney is not even a fight. Like, yo, Devin Haney is going to do this to Tio. Devin Haney is going to hurt Tio. Devin Haney, these the adversity that Devin Haney is going to bring to the table for Teofimo Lopez. No. The analysis of this fight is Devin Haney going to run, and will Teofimo Lopez cut the ring off and catch him? That's it. Is it a great fight? To be honest, the momentum? No. Is it a great event? Yes. Is it a great buildup? Yes. Is it a great fight? No. Does the matchup good? Nope. I say it like that. But is an event and is a fight that a lot of people have been talking about. But is it a fight because of the perception that Devin Haney's bringing into the table? His style and his momentum is that I'm not dying for the fight, but I want his legacy, Tio's legacy, to keep on enhancing. And with Devin Haney on his resume, enhances his legacy. And it's a fight that most of the boxing world want to see anyway. But we all know we're not analyzing as a fight. Facts, Bonilla. Loma beat Haney, but that's the problem. I got Dev outboxing Tio 7 rounds to 5. Outboxing? I see Teofimo Lopez outboxing Devin and hurting Devin. This ain't Ryan. Let me tell you like this, ladies and gentlemen. Go do your homework. Teofimo Lopez lands just as much jabs as Devin Haney, throws more punches than Devin Haney, and lands more power, way more power shots than Devin Haney. I'm gonna tell you, do your homework. Do your homework, folks. Last 5 fights of Devin Haney, last 5 fights, and matched even the Lomachenko fight, even matched the numbers of the George Kambosos and Tio, and George Kambosos and Devin Haney, the first fight. Ask George Kambosos which fight damaged him more, the win or the loss, in terms of body. I'm telling you, bro. The misconception, this is why people say, well, Devin Haney just got he got a jab, because that's the only thing that you can say about Devin Haney. Nobody talks about his right hand. Nobody talks about his hooks. Nobody talks about his body work. They talk about the Devin Haney runs, and Devin Haney got a jab. That's it. But Teofimo Lopez got a jab, an educated one that uses it. And he parries the jab better than anybody in the game. And he got a good hook, and he got a good uppercut. He got combination punches. He got a beautiful right hand to the solar plex that sets a lot of things up, just like it paralyzed actually Vasily Lomachenko and Barbosa. He's a crafty fighter, an exciting fighter. He's a craftsmanship right there in that ring. I think that Devin Haney Devin Haney's strength is fighting scared. He fights good. He boxes good, boxing scared. Yo, Tio is live right now on Twitter Spaces. Oh, let's listen to Tio. Let's go. Hey, let's save us some time. See what he says. Let's go. No, he not. me see. What who? Nah, you don't know. You're not on Twitter. Fight Fury Films, con 90 pesos. Good looking out, mi hermano. American boxing is wounded. And if Teofimo Lopez beats Haney, he will become the next American superstar. Next face of boxing is for the taking for Teo. Thank you, Fight Fury Films, man. Thank you, my brother. Thank you. Thank you. This is facts. Gracias, mi hermano. Thank you. This is the facts. This is the true takeover. When Mayweather beat Zab Judah, Floyd Mayweather cemented himself that his era coming up, this is my era. He became the man of his era. Him beating Oscar de la Hoya cemented him in being the face of boxing. When he beat Zab Judah, he became the face of his era. When he beat Oscar de la Hoya, he became the face of boxing. This right here, and remember, there was an Oscar de la Hoya. There is no Oscar de la Hoya. Teofimo Lopez becomes the Oscar de la Hoya in American boxing. Teofimo Lopez becomes the Oscar de la Hoya of American boxing, the guy that when you see his resume, fight anybody, any place, anytime. At 27 years old, Floyd Mayweather beat Chop Courtney. At 27 years old, Teofimo Lopez becomes the face of boxing. Do you understand how important I feel that this win at this moment could be for Teofimo Lopez? Teofimo Lopez will be the face of American boxing. Period. Hall of Fame. First ballot. Period. First ballot Hall of Fame. Not second ballot, not third ballot. First ballot Hall of Fame. By the age of 27. And after him beating this guy, and then if he wants to move up and face Boots, and if Boots go to 154, then I think that would be too much. I still think that he could even conquer the 147-pound division. But then he becomes, now that's when, you know what? Demand the fucking $15 million. And you know what? They don't give it to you. Go into a retirement for a good year and a half because you already cemented yourself. And I think he's already cemented himself as a Hall of Fame. Don't know if he would be first ballot the way that these writers think of him, not putting him in a pound for pound already. You know what I'm saying? He beats Devin Haney, and Devin Haney has an undefeated fighter and the second most accomplished fighter of his generation. I think everything was set up. Everything was set up for Teofimo Lopez to take over. He feels that everything was set up for Devin Haney to beat him. That's the difference. I think that's the difference is how I feel and how he may feel. He feels everything is set up for him to be trapped or for him to be beaten by Devin Haney. And I feel like this is setting you up to be the face of American boxing and beat Devin Haney. I think that's written. I think that, and as a friend, I feel like if you believe in Jesus Christ, your Lord and Savior, my brother, you're protected. You walk around without no bodyguards. You've been protected, my brother. And look at all the crazy shit that Teofimo Lopez have said. Nobody has touched Teofimo Lopez. Teofimo Lopez walks around without bodyguard. Been one of the most controversial, man. I never seen nobody so controversial and still walk the streets alone. Teofimo Lopez walks the street alone, bro. And I've walked with him in the street. Nothing. They show him love. Have you ever met somebody so controversial and walked the street by himself? Death threats. Yo, when it's T.O., if somebody see T.O., he gonna get this, he gonna get that. Even the family, even the people around him should understand that in all reality, where the people hate him, they want to act like they hate him, as a fighter, his biggest haters know that he got the biggest cojones. But with this, it tampers with it. Teofimo, no. Mike Tyson doesn't walk alone. Mike Tyson at least has one person. And I don't think that Mike Tyson needs it, but Mike Tyson needs that one person so people won't take advantage of the possibility of them creating a story. See, Mike Tyson can't be left alone because they'll create a story like he did something to somebody. Rap Store Montana, how's that Bill Haney burger win? So, I mean, look, whatever the plans is, I said it yesterday. I do believe in Keith Connolly. I do believe in his magic. I think he's the best manager in the sport of boxing currently right now, alongside with Bill Haney. I believe that both these guys are the great manager. Manager of the year was Bill Haney 2023. He's always put in his son in position to capitalize off the opportunities of accomplishments and the big and a big bag and a big payday. That's the job of as a manager. And Keith Connolly is the best manager in the sport of boxing. With Conor Benn, securing the Conor Benn, Chris Eubank Jr. fight, Edgar Berlanga, securing the Shiraz and Canelo Alvarez fight, Richardson Hitchens getting that Liam Powell fight, not the George Camboso fight, headlining Madison Square Garden, and he got Teofimo Lopez to secure that 3-fight deal with Turkey Al Sheikh, bro. So I believe in Keith Connolly. Now, I don't. Let's see what's the next move, but I feel like the move is right there, it's right in front of you. And that is to take out Devin Haney. We in June, July, August. Be the face of boxing. Fighter of the year for the second time. Enhance your legacy. Collect the most biggest payday. And you don't know what a spectacular performance. Man, where he's going to put in the same day that Gervonta Tank Davis is going to fight Lamar Roach, and you still just like you stole the show May 2nd, you could steal the show August 16th. Not the show, the day. And the whole world of boxing and in sports will be talking about Teofimo Lopez. And also, he beat the brother. After all the shit that he said. Now I'm opening the panels. I want to see what people have to say about what I'm saying. And let me know what you feel about Keyshawn Davis. What's next for Keyshawn Davis? Keyshawn Davis is going to be moving up to the 140-pound division. Henry Cedeno Martinez got to Keyshawn Davis' face. He's calling him out. Henry La Bazooka Cedeno Martinez is calling out Keyshawn Davis. He's number 11. He's the Intercontinental WBO champion. Henry calling out Keyshawn Davis. He's going to be performing in top rank. Shout out to LD Cedeno Martinez. I can't wait to see him and Xander Zayas probably in 154. Does this lead to a Keyshawn versus Teofimo Lopez? Once again, if you didn't hear the apology, not the apology, but the prayers that I'm gonna send the link. But let's listen what Teofimo Lopez had to say about Keyshawn Davis.
I think it's very important for us to really think about Keyshawn Davis and his situation. I know personally that he's going through it mentally. And how I know this is because I was there. I've been there. The only difference is that we never reacted the certain kind of way that he has. Other than that, though, I think we should all send prayers, to him, to his family, to his newborn child as well. I think that, he's young, still trying to figure out himself in the game, and a lot of frustration comes with that. The media is not easy. I think anybody in here that knows this knows it's not easy. But wishing the best for Keyshawn Davis. God willing, he finds, his peace and his place at heart in the sport of boxing. And understand, boxing, no one's bigger than the sport, my man. No one. Not even myself, brother. And I just wish you the best to you, your family, to your mother mainly. I know that she's hurting right now. Sending prayers to your mother. And wishing you and DP3 the best, guys. Keep it up, man, in the sense of positivity. Forget about the negativity. And to Najar, I believe it is, or Nahir, feel better, man. And whatever you guys plan on doing on that case, I think that it's a good move on whatever you guys decide with your team. Things like this are unacceptable.
HLD in the building, Boricua, Puerto Rican Day Parade, Puerto Rican Festivals. What's good? Everybody out there in the club tonight. Shout out to Edgar Belanga. Shout out to all the Puerto Rican fighters. Amanda Serrano out there. What's good, HLD? Talk to us.
Es la isla del Borinquen, donde nacido yo. Huepa, ¿qué es lo que hay?
Yo, que lo que punch.
Jay in the building. What's good, Jay?
What up? What's poppin'?
Where are we starting off at, Punch? Because there's a lot on the table.
Give me 1 second because let me.
Let's debunk the false narratives, man.
Nah, bro, we'll never finish.
We're gonna go in circles, right? This is crazy.
Yeah, man. I mean, you gotta believe in what you believe in, bro.
You gotta agree.
And stick to your guns with that.
And look, folks, one at a time. I want to hear everybody's takes. I want to hear.
And let's stick to the topic.
Ponchi Donkey, boca sucia, bonchinchoso, mala rugía de boxeo. What's up, bro?
All right.
Yo, you have
what's good on those boxing? Looking out. Shout out to the members. All right, I'm gonna start it off with the Keyshawn, and then we move for the Teofimo Lopez. Now, there's a lot of people in boxing that's saying that Keyshawn Davis should be suspended. I say no. I feel like it's part of the sport of boxing, whether people like it or not. Chaos sells. I think they can turn this into a money fight. If Keyshawn Davis wants to fight the dude that beat his brother, Albright, then Albright could get a good payday. Keyshawn Davis could start this feud or whatever, take this to the ring, just like everybody want to see Caleb Plant versus Jamar Charlo because of the smack. What happens outside of the ring? That's why people want to see that fight inside of the ring. So I don't understand why people want to be like, yo, take his license away and whatever. It's boxing. I like to see them settle that shit in the ring, and that's how I see it. What do y'all think?
I think that's what's going to happen. They're going to end up settling it one way, but I know they're going to get sued. That's a fact. They're going to get sued, and rightly so. And that's about it. Get a compensation out of it. Can you really suspend them? I don't know. Can there be legal consequences? Well, only if you have a zealous prosecutor in the state of Virginia. Because if they have enough evidence, they don't need somebody to press charges. They could just do it on their own. But I don't think that's going to happen. But this guy, but he's going to have to pay a price because he did a lot of damage to Top Rank this week, and so I expect something's gonna happen. But are we gonna get a suspension or something like that? I don't think so. I think the most thing that pissed me off as a man is how much of a bitch Keyshawn and his ratchet baby mama were by leaving their baby in the middle of all that chaos. Because as a man, your number one duty as a father is to protect your family. And if you have a child, that's what your duty is, above your ego and above your pride. And so if you have to eat shit because of that, then you have to do that. Because if you act stupid, somebody smokes you, who's going to raise your kid? Who's going to be begging your wife now, huh? You know what I mean? You can't be acting stupid like that. Then you have this white lady who's security, who's the one who grabbed the baby, the only one with a sense of capacity to say, oh, shit, the baby's in this chaos. Let me pull him to the side. Nobody of Team Keyshawn thought about the baby. Yo, that was ratchet as fuck. That pissed me off as a man. Everything else, I really don't give a fuck. He fucks up his career. That's I don't, it is what it is. I mean, pero eso me encojonó a mí como hombre. Outside of that, I really don't care. I mean, I always thought he was a manufactured champion, and his insecurities have played out all this week.
What you think, Jay?
Yeah, I agree. It was ratchet. There was no sportsmanship. It was just disgusting. It was disgusting behavior. And I think he needs to be held accountable. He has to face some consequences. First of all, it was assault. You see, that's in a situation where you could sue. That's assault. That's battery. That's disorderly conduct. You know what I mean?
Now what Ryan Garcia did to Devin Haney?
Exactly. That was in the ring. What Keyshawn Davis did was outside the ring. Dude just had a fight, man. He's fucking tired as hell. Matter of fact, he should be getting looked at by a doctor. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't know. Like, come on, man.
So
You
should
don't do
Jamal
shit like
Charlo? So
that, bro.
Jamal Charlo should have filed for battery versus Kalen Plant for smacking him.
No, because he touched him first.
Yeah, I mean,
No, but he said that was an
he didn't
hour
get
before.
jumped.
He said he touched his beard.
I'm just saying that, yeah. I'm
He
just
didn't
keeping it
assault him.
technical.
He didn't
He didn't.
assault him.
But that was a one-on-one situation. He like, dude, they jumped this guy. You know what I mean? For no reason. And Caleb Plant had a reason to do that. Like, there's footage of what was going on, you know, of what led up to that incident. Like, he was fucking with him. Charlo was fucking with him. He was touching him. He was trying to embarrass him. So it's not the same thing. Like, dude, like these guys fucking went to the locker room for no reason, dude. Just because he fucking beat him in a boxing match. Like, what is that? Where's the
True.
integrity? You got no dignity?
And it was supposed to be his show. Like, ain't nobody going to watch a boxing fight in Virginia just to go. I mean, if it was for Keyshawn Davis, there won't be no boxing event in Virginia. So the city was invested. A lot of celebrities was talking about it. Was wanting to go to the show.
Crazy.
Bro, they all showed up. This was an opportunity of a lifetime.
Exactly. They sold. They had to refund a lot of tickets. I think it messed up the brand. I think it messed up how HLD said, how people look at him not only as a fighter, but as a father, a responsible father, a responsible son, because his mother was out there as well. Imagine if punch would have flew and missed and hit his mom. I think that it was very irresponsible. I think that, you know what I'm saying, when you're around an entourage and a lot of people, you have this chip on your shoulder. You got to be the guy. You walking around the arena, you know, like you're the man. You know what I'm saying? Like.
I got one last point about influence, and I think Delono probably has something to say. But everybody wants to give credit to Crawford for going into the locker room, but let me tell you something. Crawford is the daddy of the Shakurs, the Keyshawns, the Troy Isley. Troy Isley was in that locker room too, and nobody wants to mention. He pulled up in there with them, and Crawford is their daddy, and that's Crawford's. That's Crawford's ammo. Didn't he pull up into the locker room for T.O. and talking about, hey, let's have a street fight, let's do all this shit? So guess what these kids want to emulate? They want to emulate their daddy Crawford. Didn't Crawford pull up on T.O.'s sister when they were walking out the hallway, down the hallway? That means Crawford was behind his sister, and he antagonized his sister, and she just happened to stand their ground. But it wasn't that she was looking for any issues. It was Crawford, and then he calling her a bitch and all this shit, all this thuggish shit, right? So who are these guys trying to emulate? They're trying to emulate, you know, Kendrick Crawford.
Thugs. The whole Keyshawn situation is very disappointing. I've been pumping him up all week. I've been going on the limb to say that Keyshawn Davis should skip the line. Right now, this is a setback. I'm not one to call for punishment for anybody, because, you know, these things happen, but this was very, very unprofessional on his end. It damages his brand, but it also paints him out now as a villain. People still going to pay to see him, but they're going to pay to see him live, because now he's a wild card. You know, I didn't like how not only did he show up overweight, he was still grinning about it. He didn't look disappointed. He didn't look as if he was trying to take any accountability for it whatsoever. That was very unprofessional for Keyshawn. However, he can still move on from this, because boxing is about what you did lately. Obviously, he can't make the weight no more. And if he's not going to fight his buddy Shakur Stevenson, then get out the way. Don't hold the division up. So maybe now he could go to 140, but I'm not gonna push for him to just go into a T.O. fight. He got to prove himself. I want to see him fight Jermaine Ortiz at 140 next. That's what I want to see for Keyshawn Davis. So right now, for now, he's off the T.O. list. As far as T.O. goes, he got to fight Devin, or he got to fight Subaru Matias winner, or Richardson Hitchens, or either Duck.
I agree. I don't think he's in a position to be rewarded.
Go ahead real quick. The only way he can get away with have a good one. You too. The only way he gets away with a layoff is if he really gets the winner of Tank and Roach winner. If he gets the winner of that, then this is redeemed. But as of right now, he got to wear the duck hat.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Just one last thing for the Keyshawn thing.
I think
words like unprofessional and immature, that's being too easy on him. on the situation. Call it for what it is. Like that's like dirtbag piece of shit behavior.
That
Like
is.
he had no reason to do what he did at all. Like don't let him off the. He needs to be held accountable and face consequences.
For the
whether
amount
it's jail, whether it's being arrested. Go ahead, Punch. Go ahead.
For the amount of time that he's been a professional, with the no contest, smoking weed and stuff like that, and out there in Texas where you can't have weed in your system. That was also a setback, right? Because they had to postpone a fight.
But Punch, how about all the other things too? The whole Tia Senior situation,
and then this, and in that situation in the past, and then this situation,
bro. It's not a first time thing. The guys,
but that wasn't a Keyshawn and Senior thing. That was just Coach K.
No, but it was a
Keyshawn. He had something to do with it.
After this, I believe it.
Because of Keyshawn, it was sparked up with Keyshawn.
Now we want to talk about this weight thing. Look, man. This kid isn't. You guys want to put you lonos who thinks bro. This kid is not who you think he fucking is. Just look at his resume. He hasn't fought a damn person with a pulse. He has not fought a person with a pulse. And the moment that he's fighting someone who has some pop in his hands, somebody who make his boy run around, someone who does have some legs for movement, he tried to cheat his way. It's like he couldn't make weight. He needed to cheat. He was hoping that El Pobre Dominicano with no money, he's starving for a payday, is going to take the fight anyway. And he was going to get away with, blasting him being a weight bully. And he got fucked and it exploded in his face. And so that's what happened with that. Not that he couldn't make weight. He didn't want to because he needed the advantage. They know what they were doing. That goes to Bomac too. He going to play our fat asses with that shit. We know what he was doing.
For real.
I mean, we ain't stupid.
So piggyback off what you're saying, HLD, once again, this goes to show about the weak mentality of the fighters of this generation, because you're absolutely right. This is a fighter that posed a puncher's threat, and just like Keyshawn called other people out, and just like everybody else I go at, including Tio, these guys nowadays have picks. They pick and choose, because Keyshawn doesn't have the same bravado and energy towards Andy Cruz. Just as Tio doesn't have the same energy towards the demographic of fighters that he's been going at. Because obviously he said it with his own mouth that he would never fight Shakur. He said he would never fight Keyshawn. On the live with us, he said he would never fight Gary Antoine Russell. And now he's ducking Devin Haney. So that's a huge turn.
But he's willing to fight Boots. Man, shut up. Use your brain.
The truth is this, bro.
Use your brain.
If you lose to Boots, it doesn't damage you that much opposed to losing to your.
Oh, so you got an excuse for that?
But I'm gonna be honest.
And I don't understand how you could call yourself a Teal supporter, but yet you're using all these.
I'm not a fan.
I call him the worst Teal fan ever.
No. But yet you're saying all these Devin Haney talking points, but you can't call yourself a Teal supporter at the same time. Saying Devin Haney talking points? What's that?
He's saying himself that he would never fight Shakur, bro. When have you ever heard Roberto Duran say he would never fight Shakur? Nah, man. He said Shakur.
It's not even on the table, guys.
No, but he said himself with his own mouth, I would never fight Shakur. He said that. He said he would never fight Gary Antoine Russell with his own mouth.
I didn't hear that.
Enough is enough. Yes, bro. Go back to that, bro.
I heard you trying to be a trainer for Teal.
What are you trying to insinuate? You trying to insinuate that Teal's a cherry picker? That Teal's a ducker? But at the same time, Teal by far has the best. But he has by far the best resume out of all the generation. I don't understand how you could have the best resume, but at the same time you're calling him. He has the best resume.
You gotta update that resume. That's that. You gotta update that resume. That's like if you in the streets and you the OG in the streets and you was doing your thing in the 80s. These young dudes are coming up now. You gotta update the resume and put these young niggas out now. That's the difference, bro. End of story. I'm not going to.
You're not making picks over there with the emotionalness that I'm hearing.
Ew. And you supposed to be a Teal fan, my brother?
That's right. I'm a real dude. If you're my friend, if you do something out of pocket, I'm going to tell you about it, bro. I'm not going to let you slide on it.
At what point does it go be like? Because you could say it's constructive criticism. But the way that you're saying it. It don't really sound like it. I
said it from day one. I said it from day one.
I'm
Since
gonna tell you
everybody
what he
pushing
said.
this
Hold on.
Devin Haney narrative with
Hold on.
Tio,
Forget about
I've
Devin
been
Haney right
saying
now.
it since day one. While everybody in the entire fucking world talking about piece of shit Devin Haney. On May 3rd, not one of you motherfuckers were claiming Devin Haney and Teofimo
Exactly.
Lopez. We wanted Devin Haney to retire. That
There's
fuck
things
that
that he
Exactly.
I'm
said.
the only one saying, damn,
There's
I spent
Facts.
money to watch that
things.
motherfucker.
There's
And you're
things that
wasting my time.
there's things that he said that turned me off. Another thing he said when I told him, Tio, you should clean up 140. He said, I already cleaned up 140 by beating Josh Taylor, and Josh Taylor cleaned it up. That's like saying if I beat Manny Pacquiao, I'm an 8 division champion too. No, it don't mean that way. It don't mean that, bro. Josh Taylor cleaned out his era. This is your era now. Clean this shit up, bro. That's the difference. Clean this fucking era up, my nigga. I don't mean to
And
curse like
Clean
that.
it
You
up
gotta
at
know what I mean, bro.
130, and what they gonna do for Tio?
how much longer do you
let me
think
get
he
this.
can make 140 though?
Let me get the super chat.
Bro, my man, that man just shaved all year long, bro.
Hold up, guys.
Let me get this super chat. Yo,
Dale.
Fight Fury Films with a $20 super chat. What's
Come
good,
on,
bro?
man. Niggas be
He
fanboying,
said,
bro.
"What leaves a greater legacy? Fighting the hard fights with win or lose, or taking the cautious approach?"
Hey, the hardest fights. That's why Tio wanted boots. Not no Devin Haney who got his ass whooped by Ryan Garcia, ran around like a bitch for 12 rounds versus a dead Ramirez. And you guys
You're
think he's
enabling,
gonna
bro.
get credit for beating a fucking Devin Haney today?
And you guys
You're
are pushing
enabling,
for
bro.
a T.O. Devin fight? Why?
Forget about Devin.
Why y'all
The
going
Devin
so
fight is
hard for
dead.
Devin Haney to get a payday?
So y'all rather
The Devin
let
fight is
Tio,
really dead.
y'all rather let Tio sit down and wait, but not fight.
There's two,
not fight
dude.
Devin Haney?
Punch. There's two fights coming up. There's a fight. There's an important fight at 140 coming up this weekend, and then the next weekend there's a championship fight coming up at 147.
Who?
Brian Norman, Sasaki, Hitchens, and Cambosos. You don't think Tio's waiting for the winners of those fights?
Not.
If Hitchens, yeah, I would love the Hitchens fight. I would love the Hitchens fight for him.
Like
But
y'all can't wait a couple weeks.
Listen,
Like
that's why he did a disservice to himself, saying the things that he's saying, why he wouldn't fight Devin Haney as well. The possibility also of getting robbed out there in Saudi, the collude of Turkey and Devin and the Muslim, they're both Muslim, and he said they're set up for him.
That's the truth. That's
All right,
the truth.
right.
But did you not see Carlos Adames get robbed?
So listen up.
But you didn't. But why you acting like you didn't see Carlos Adames get robbed?
But let's listen up. But Teofimo Lopez have publicly for years said that Eddie Hearn robbed him from the George Camboso. So
he
who
feels
the fuck
like that?
is the promoter of Hitchens and George Camboso? Eddie Hearn. Who's the promoter of Boots Ennis? Eddie Hearn. So if he's so worried about getting robbed with Turkey Al Sheikh, he is publicly also worried about getting robbed with Eddie Hearn. It doesn't make sense.
But neither Eddie Hearn has the power of Turkey Al Sheikh, and we all know that.
It shoots himself in the foot. Then clean it up. Then clean it up. Then publicly say. Nah, man, you know that was just me. When fighters lose, we have that tendency that we can't cope with the loss. You know what I'm saying?
So you was talking about what essentially body's
if he feels like he won the fight,
we blame it
and
on
he got robbed.
Yeah, but did you forget what
That's how he feels.
one at a time. We need to control. Let's control, bro.
And I was immature for saying that, and I apologize to Eddie Hearn and stuff like that. What up? So then it won't trace back to it. That's what I'm saying. There's certain things that he say publicly that shoots himself on the foot. And as a supporter, also as a friend, hey yo, if you say this, then they're going to say that.
They're gonna say anything anyway. Tio's gonna be hating no matter what the goddamn fucking says.
No, he got a clean shit.
Man, I'm not gonna play that game with this fuck. Bro, he's hated. He's hated by the media. He's not liked. He hasn't been liked since he whipped the shit out of Lomachenko, and since before that, he was too brash for this fucking business. He was too out in out in their faces with Senior, and then they don't like it. They don't like it.
Yo, no matter what he does, they're not gonna like him,
There's
bro.
certain things he need to clean up. It's certain things that he need to clean up. There's not that everybody hate him, because there's a lot of supporters that sometimes don't understand why he say what he do, why he say what he say. Don't think that he hasn't turned off supporters as well. This is not about the haters.
I'm talking about the media. I'm talking about the motherfuckers
behind us. The people behind the outrage.
One at a time, bro. One at a time.
But let me go.
You control your channel, bro.
It's the same people the people behind the outrage of his the way he promotes now, or the things that he was saying, the people that's having an outrage are the same people that used to hate on him before he said all those things. Like they're not gonna like Tio no matter what. Tio has his. Let me finish real quick, 2 seconds. Tio has his core fan base that's gonna support him no matter what, brother. Let me show you.
Jay, what is support? It's just
showing up to his fights.
It's just
showing up to his fights.
If he slaps a baby in the carriage, because I support Tio.
He's not gonna do that, brother. But come on, bro. But look at the extreme that you take it to.
Of support. What is your definition of support? Is the definition of support
people
that agree with everything he say, even though that morally you think
he said it was promotion, though. He said it was promotion.
I'm not talking. There's
certain
what is
it that you're talking about?
There's certain things that I know that was promotion, right? There's certain things that he does feel. He said. All I'm saying is what he said publicly. So what he's saying publicly on his live with y'all on his live, because he didn't say what he said about Devin Haney and being Muslim and stuff like that, and Bill Haney is corrupted, which HLD had to tell him, yo, you could get sued. Don't say that. Why is HLD telling him not to say that?
Because he has his back.
No. Because
HLD is a real nigga that has his back. He's a real Tio supporter.
Because as a supporter, you don't want to see him go down out of a potential downfall or something to be harmful to him just because what he said. So a supporter like HLD has to check him. Yo, wait a minute, so calm down. That's what I'm saying. There's certain things that we don't have to agree with everything because we're a supporter. We don't have to agree with everything.
And that's true. And that's true, Punch. And that same guy I told him that I checked him on. I mean, who the fuck am I to check Tio? I only told him that he has to. You got to think about what you're saying when you say things, because words have meanings. You know what I mean? You gotta take a moment before you spit things out. I agree with you with that. With that, I had no problem. It's the truth. You know, and he is a young man. He's still a young knucklehead, if you will. You know what I mean? But that said, this narrative that we got to push for the Haneys, who nobody wants to fucking see.
That fight is already dead, though. HLD. Nobody. Listen, I'm not even complaining for that fight no more. He could still make up for it. Like I said, there's still other big fish to fry. Like I said,
who did to make up to you? What?
But make up what? What does he have to redeem himself? What? He was the A side. If he didn't feel happy with the contract, then he has every right to walk away from it. I
don't see none of you guys on that shit. Hold on. On his terms, and we get it going.
Why are we not talking about how Turkey Al-Chief fucking not giving him what he promised? That should be the outrage about that.
The excuse that Tio gave in terms of him signing the deal and then not satisfying the agreement is legit. Is legit 100%. Any business.
What are we talking about?
Let me finish. It's legit. The other shit is excuses that doesn't need to be said, because those excuses is fear. The excuses of I'm gonna get robbed out there, or they're already colluded. All that is fear. That is playing. That's mind games. That's playing with your mind.
Those are extra stuff. That's extra stuff. That is just excuses as to reason why he didn't stand. Why he decided to not stand his ground.
Those other issues, he said, are the compounding issues to the broken up contract. Those are compounding issues. That's why he said it on your panel. It's not one thing only. It's many things at the same time.
He don't gotta mention shit like that.
That's where we can agree.
But don't you like the transparency?
That's what I'm saying.
But don't you like the transparency though?
That's what I'm saying. There's certain things that he's gonna say that doesn't align with other things that he said in the past.
But that's because nobody wants to use critical thinking.
When he's publicly,
bro, you can't pick and choose when you like the transparency, Punch.
No, we gotta keep it real, brother.
He is keeping it real.
He gotta keep it real. You can't say that you only made $1 million when we all know that he made more with Camboso and made more with fucking Josh Taylor, and he makes the whole boxing world say, "I don't make money. I don't make."
You're taking it out of context. Punch, you're taking it out of context. You know he's talking about after all the fees.
Out here, bro.
You know he's talking about after taxes.
There are supporters out here, bro, and I ain't gonna look like a fucking dick out here too. Like I'm stupid. You ain't gonna play me. Fuck that, bro. You're not gonna
Like when you said that, you didn't think I knew sarcasm. When you said that, I knew sarcasm.
Bro, I completely understood what he was talking about, bro. Obviously, he was talking about after taxes and trainer fees and all that other stuff.
It's not sarcasm.
Sanctioning fees, everything.
We're not talking about somebody that I don't know. It's not just sarcasm, bro. You know what I'm saying? You don't gotta say shit because then when you do get a fucking bag, the world is looking at that bag because you say you never had a bag.
But it wasn't the same bag he was promised.
Punch.
Why are you not talking about that?
You as a man on the panel who's known Tio the longest. Punch. You as the man who's known Tio the longest. You as the man on this panel. You the man who's known Tio the longest on a very personal level.
Exactly.
When Tio signed that 3-fight contract, has Tio never been happiest, at least with what's going on with his career at that point in time? Like he felt like, coño, finally.
Yeah. Yes.
Right? He didn't care if he was fighting Boots. If they're gonna give me what I deserve, like I should be, he didn't give a flying fuck about anything else.
Yes.
It was only until they then fucked him over, like Toppin fucked them over.
And they're starting to fuck with
him
again.
Then he goes back to it.
Again. At what point enough is enough? At what point, Punch?
After that, what I was doing, I'm making fun of the situation of Turkey and Al-Sheikh. You didn't keep your word. Cool. That's not the issue about keeping the word and keeping the agreement, is that you apologize and you went back to the negotiation table and you did agree.
He apologized for the insult. He apologized.
Who said that he apologized to get back on the table, Punch? He had to apologize because he was wrong.
He got back on the table. He had to
apologize because he was wrong. It doesn't matter if Turkey wanted to get back on the fucking table or not.
You telling me that he didn't agree?
I don't think he agreed to anything.
He agreed. He
only agreed when they told him.
The only agreement is when you sign the contract, Punch. Everything else is you could fucking say that you agree, but until you sign the contract, there is no actual agreement.
Man, when there's
not even a term sheet did he agree on to sign.
And you agree on the term, and then you don't sign.
Well, he changed his mind. He had every right to change his mind.
All right, but we call fucking Boots a duck, right? Then we call Boots a duck.
How is that a duck if he changed his mind?
Then we call Boots a duck.
No. Wait, hold on. So he doesn't have
just one question.
No, but hold on. I don't know why. I don't know how you jumped into conclusion.
Boots and it's a duck.
Yes, we did.
We did. Absolutely.
Boots Ennis is not Teofimo Lopez. He didn't do not even half the work that he did.
That's not
in boxing.
It has nothing to do with none of that.
What the contract said was to fight Boots for that second fight or an equal competent fighter of that elite status.
Exactly.
And that ain't no motherfucking Devin Haney that we're pushing out of these damn streets. That's making another growing job because it's not that motherfucker.
And they cut the purse.
But then they stand on your word then. That's it.
But that's what he did. But that's what he did, and you guys over here shaming him.
No, I call the motherfucker a dictator because this motherfucker gave me a fucking deal, and you agreed on, and now he's trying to cut me half. And y'all got to understand that, boxing world. That's it.
And that's what he should have done. I agree with you with that. So it's one thing of what comes out of his mouth to what it is. It is that he got
maybe he's hoping that these guys fucking pay him what they promised. You ever thought about that?
Okay, so it got to an amount. It got to an amount where he was happy and agreed. It got to an amount.
I didn't hear him say that.
Damn, that's what I'm saying. Y'all can't keep saying, Punch, but you know this. I'm telling you, it got to the amount where he was happy.
But he wasn't happy with the terms.
So if he was happy, he would have signed it, Punch, don't you think?
What happened in the 11th hour?
I don't know what he got in the 11th hour, but not even Tio said that there was an 11th hour.
If he was happy, he would have signed, Punch. So that means he wasn't happy.
He declined the offer when Dan Rafael said it. This motherfucking boxing scene, who's not even part of Turkey Al-Sheikh, who's banned from them, came out with this fucking repeating the same story from the week before that they signed the contract. Everybody running with that bullshit. When it was Bill Haney who had that motherfucker let him do that.
They trying to pressure him to taking something that's not in his
Right.
best
I wasn't
interest.
born yesterday.
Come on, man. This ain't elementary, bro.
You know what it is. It's not gonna make sense because what y'all debating is what's on the surface, and what I'm debating is what's on the surface and behind the scenes. That shit that I know. So you guys are not just listening. You guys, because you're going by boxing scene, and I'm going by what the fuck I know. That's where we have this disagreement. I don't need to listen to the boxing scene. I don't need to watch. I don't need to read nothing.
But I don't understand. But since
Tio
you
on
said
your
that he
panel
was
did not
happy,
agree. Tio on your panel said he did not agree, Punch.
He agreed.
Tio on your panel, when he pulled up on that after Spaces, he said he did not agree.
He agreed. He didn't sign. He agreed.
Yeah, he didn't
No,
sign
that's
because
not what he said on the live.
He agreed.
He didn't like it.
He agreed.
If he would have, bro, if he agreed, he would have signed.
Ain't nobody gonna have me as a yo-yo.
Now, whether he agreed or not, guess what? I'm gonna stand on my square. I'm fucking glad the shitty ass fighting happening because I never wanted it. Not at this point in time.
That's an opinion. That's
That's where I'm at. I never wanted to see
Tio is the A side. If he doesn't want to fight in Saudi, he has every right to demand.
Regardless of money,
I'm all good with. If he didn't want to fight,
he has every right to demand a fight to be in America. He's the A side. And you know, let me say just one thing, Punch. Just one thing. And you know how I know he's the A side? Go to YouTube and look at their last fights. Tio's fights has double the amount of views as Devin Haney's fight. That shows you that he has more value. His stock is higher. He is the A side.
But we're not. I don't give a fuck about this A side shit because with Turkey, there's no A side and B side.
How many A sides have walked away from contracts?
No, when there's with Turkey, there's no A side and B side. Teofimo Lopez and Devin Haney's not negotiating money. That's not what they negotiate.
So Canelo Alvarez could say, I don't want to fight in Saudi. I want to fight in America, and that's okay.
That's Canelo Alvarez, bro. That's Canelo.
No, but it's the same thing. A side is an A side, bro. I'm not saying that he's an A side over Canelo. A side is an A side, however you look at it. If Tio don't want to fight in Saudi, he has every right to demand to fight in America. He is the champion.
This is what I do agree with you on.
Why he don't want to fight in Saudi?
Hold on, real quick. I do agree with this.
Did you not see Carlos Adames get robbed?
So
did you not see Dimitri Bivol got robbed the first fight? Was he
ready to fight Boots in Saudi? He wasn't ready to fight Boots in Saudi.
There's no favoritism for Boots. Boots is not a Muslim. There's something there with that. But it's a Muslim country. They're gonna want the Muslim fighter to win. Punch. Same way they almost robbed Carlos Adames.
So he was scared that he was gonna get robbed.
That was one of the reasons why he didn't make the sacrifice to accept less money than what he was promised. Why should I take less money when I know they're trying to set me up anyway?
No, but you gotta understand that the one thing that happened that didn't happen before, and you have to live with it. He disrespected Turkey al-Sheikh. Simple as that. At that point, you know you're not going to be on no equal grounds.
You fucked up.
You know that. That's why I kept on mentioning when he was on the live. Yo, man, if you see two motherfuckers in the elevator with the gats ready to rob you, are you going to still get on the elevator? Or are you going to say, fuck it, pass that? He saw the two gats because he knows he fucked up with Turkey.
Mm-hmm.
You can't
and
always say
I'm gonna go over and be a bitch to get fucked over. No,
you can't always hide behind this is promotion.
And that's what I'm saying. That's why I come back to the Eddie Hearn situation. If he feels like that with Turkey, what makes you think that the same guy? Remember what he said on my channel too. He said, "I learned from the George Kambosos situation." Did he say that? Yes or no? Right? Okay, then. So why he
wish he could have vacated the IBF,
but what was the context?
He's talking to the George Kambosos situation because he believed that Eddie Hearn robbed him. So if he feels like this with Turkey, why is he calling out Eddie Hearn's fighters? Because he doesn't have the protection of Top Rank. Remember also what he said to the world. No, they just get I could do whatever I want. They basically not in my career. I just gotta give him my promotional fee and that's it. So any fight, if he fights Hitchens, is on Eddie Hearn's terms. Power is his card. His and probably Turkey's. If he fights George Kambosos, it's gonna be with Eddie Hearn. If he fights Boots Ennis, it's gonna be with Eddie Hearn. So is he gonna not want to fight these guys because he feel they're gonna get robbed by Eddie Hearn?
It's not the same about getting fucked by no turkey out of Sheik. I tell you that,
bro. It's not.
But he
it's,
felt he
it's a
got
different
robbed.
situation,
His biggest
bro.
downfall was George Cambosa. To this day, he still blames it on Eddie Hearn. Yes or no?
he didn't say Eddie Hearn, but I know it was Lou DiBella.
It was.
He never mentioned
to me, it was.
He never mentioned it, but you don't have to be a brainiac to know that Lou DiBella was the one that got a contract with Top Rank right after that.
It's been 5 years. Never mentioned Lou DiBella. He mentioned Eddie Hearn, bro.
I know he mentioned Eddie Hearn. I'm saying that it was Lou DiBella.
No.
It was Cambosa's promoter, who then he got a co-promotional deal right after that with who? With Bob Arum, when he was at the outside of all promotional companies.
Let's go with what Teo feels. I'm talking about Teo.
Teo was talking also about that he wish he could have just vacated the IBF because what nobody really understands is that, and between all those delays, they already had stripped Teo. And they made Cambosa the champion, but they kept it quiet so that he couldn't have an undisputed fight. Let's not play about that. We know what that shit the business does.
Man, that's all mind games.
It's not, but it's
games,
deeper than that.
That's all mind. That's paranoia, man. That's paranoia, man.
Did they not strip him of his IBF in between all those damn things?
Well, rightfully so, man. They've been screwing him over for so long.
Anything he wanted to do, he could have dropped his belt. He could have dropped the.
He didn't know that.
He could have done anything.
He didn't know that.
He was attached to his belt. Now he knew. I think he knew that. I think he knew he could have did that. But he was so attached to his belt.
On the thing.
The ifs comes when
he didn't know that he could vacate a belt.
He'll be talking about dropping the IBF if he would have beaten George Cambosa.
Before fighting Cambosa, with all the delays, he didn't know he could have just vacated.
I'm saying even with the delays, if he would have beat George Cambosa, will he be saying any of those things about dropping IBF and things of that nature? No.
Well, no, but he didn't know under the pressure of having to perform for the fight that he signed for. He didn't know that he just could.
But I'm saying we're going by what he feels. He feels to this day. He got robbed from George Cambosa, and Eddie Hearn is the mastermind. But you want Eddie Hearn fighter. But if we're gonna go with the correlation that he don't want to fight in Turkeys because he feels there's a relationship with Devin Haney in Turkey, then there's a relationship with Eddie Hearn, and I keep on saying the same thing. So what I'm saying as a supporter is leave that shit alone. Forget about that type of mindset because you will never fight nobody.
I ain't gonna take it how he feels, Punch, because guess what? Just like you, just like me, only I'm gonna live with the decisions of my life. And if it fucks me over, you can't help me with that. He does. He's gonna have to pay the consequences. Nobody else is gonna pay for him. So for him to satisfy me because I want him to do something, because I don't want to, no, man, he needs to live with that. At the end of the line, you're the one who's gonna marry the chick or not, right? Everybody's telling you, yo, man, that chick is ratchet, but hey, I want to marry her, bro. You're the one who's gonna pay the price.
So I'm gonna think strict. So I'm gonna think like if he think like that, I'm gonna be a supporter and think like that. I don't want Teofimo Lopez to fight Boots, and I don't want Teofimo Lopez to fight the winner of Richardson Hitchens and George Cambosa.
I have critical thing to understand. There's a major difference in Saudi Arabia and Turkey Al Sheikh.
And I probably don't want him to fight what's his name, Brian Norman, not Brian Norman Jr. because he's being respectful to Top Rank, and Teofimo Lopez, as we all know, has this bad relationship with Top Rank, and probably going to try to whack him and treat Teofimo Lopez a lesson because he spoke what he said about Todd the Buff. Huh? Ain't nobody worse than Todd the Buff. You know what? They're gonna rob him too. So what the fuck as a fan? So you know what? I want Teofimo Lopez not to fight nobody.
All I know is there's a major difference in Saudi Arabia and here.
Hunter the Hun with a $10 super chat. What's good, brother? What up, Punch? And that's what I'm saying. If I'm going to adopt that mindset because I'm a supporter of Teo, then I'm scared that he's going to get robbed by all these entities that he publicly have said disrespectful things about them.
Teo realized that out of the nowhere came this Devin Haney fight. out of the fucking nowhere. It came out of air. No fucking clamoring that this was never on the table. This was not even spoken about. No, on May 3rd, this was a nothing fight. And only because of the manipulation of media did it become something. And he knows that that's the play. And we know that. And so I understand it.
That's not all the way accurate for the second fight because remember, it's a tournament. So if Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia fight, and Devin Haney beats Ryan Garcia and Teofimo Lopez beat Jerome Bruce Ennis, who they fighting February 2026.
So why didn't they pay him the same amount of money if it's supposed to be the same?
No, that's why I said it's not all the way right what you're saying. You're saying that there is no type of talk about this potential fight. It is a potential. It is talk. That's why the tournament.
With the money of the contract, yes, it is, and in the sequence.
Not as a second fight, but if that Tio would have capitalized on his end of the bargain and Devin Haney, then it would have been February 2026 in Riyadh season in Saudi. Devin Haney versus Teofimo Lopez, of course, not for the same amount of money.
Well, there you go. So at the end of the day, did Tio talk too much about? I think he did because look how Boots got away without having to say shit. I think Tio should have said, I don't like the money. I didn't like that they broke my contract. I don't like that they're trying to give me a take it or leave it. And because of that, I am not taking this fight. And leave it at that. I agree with you with that Tio needs to learn how to speak and know what to say and then what not to say. I agree with that.
Exactly, because being direct is the perfect answer. See, the perfect answer that anybody with a right mind and any business person in the sport of boxing says, I signed a 3-fight deal. I'm supposed to get this much money right off the bat. These guys are trying to cut my pay in half. If I take this $5.5 million, but I work my way up, but he knows the number. But if I take the $5.5 million, what the fuck? If they telling me I'm not gonna get paid with the second fight, they're not gonna give me the large amount of money that they promised me in the third fight. So if I take this fight, I'm not gonna get. If I take this money, they sure ain't gonna give me this type of money. So I don't want to deal with this situation until they'll buy for my contract. It has nothing to do about Devin Haney. It had nothing to do about nobody. It's my deal. And I
agree with that. All I'm saying is, I agree with what he should have said. They're breaking the contract. It's not what I signed for. I don't like this, and that's it. Se acabó right there.
Yeah, eso es. But when you add the layers,
I get what you're saying, Punch, and for the majority of people, because le siguen la corriente about the other stuff. Myself, I don't think like you guys with that. I already know that, and I've been saying it. The moment you break your word, which is when you sign a contract, your signature is your word, and if you break that, we're done, bro. We're done. I don't want to deal with you. Point blank. Se acabó. And we move on. But Tio don't get that, and that's where his immaturity comes into play because he doesn't get that. He hasn't been in real life situations like many of us. He hasn't had to be in front of a board of governors explaining your numbers and why your profits are down or up or where you're headed and how you're going to get there. He don't know none of that type of shit. He's a boxer. He's been homeschooled his entire life pretty much, and now he knows his boxing and whatever he learned with the few people that he hangs around with. But he doesn't have real life experience other than boxing. And so I get it, and that's why I told him, you got to really know what you're saying. Sometimes you say too much when sometimes less is more. That's about it.
And trust those that is the extension of your goal of taking over, the extension of the Teofimo Lopez brand, the extension. Because look, not every supporter got the right things to say. There's other supporters that panic and try to put things in your mind not to take a fight, and I'm not even going to go to but at this point you should know who opinion should be valid for your career and things of that nature. So me as let's say, for example, I understand 100% why not to deal with Turkey because already that agreement, again, it wasn't kept. It wasn't satisfied. You know what? Before it gets any, let's come back on the table when y'all ready to abide by a real contract. You know what I'm saying?
I agree with that. I mean, had that been from the get, I don't think but other things happened. He disrespected this man and all this other stuff. So I mean, I get the hesitancy to want to do anything. Canelo don't want to even fly over there no more. Boots don't want to be over there. Tio don't want to be over there. The Schofields don't want to be over there. Yo, we're not. I mean, it's a reality. There's many people don't want to, and maybe what we all thought. I mean, at least what I thought. I'm like, okay, this man is coming into the game. He's going to pay these fighters their due just, and great. But look at not everything is as smooth as we thought it is in the last 2 months. Shit, things don't look too good. This Canelo fight is looking up and down. We don't know what the hell's going on. Things look funny.
And then I understand this, right? This is his career. This is his life, his career, right? He may be looking on and be like, what the fuck these guys got so angry or emotional or happy about or whatever. The support, the hate, whatever. He could look at this like, I ain't even dwelling on it. All right, but guess what? This is our league. This is our culture. This is what we do. Now we talk boxing. All right, we don't might not understand this, but this is our shit. And the only shit that we have here is our word. Right? Ain't nobody trying to look stupid out here. And when we could debate, have dialogues, argument, praise, and all that stuff. Right. So this is so he just like him and other fighters got to understand these platforms. You know what I'm saying? So we just gonna talk also what was on the surface. Yes, what was behind the scenes, but you can't really explain too much behind the scenes shit because a lot of it's not in the surface.
It's not our business, really, right?
So, but in the sense of course, Tio's my guy. The last thing in this community out is looking weak, looking like he's avoiding, making Devin Haney look like he's the boogeyman.
I don't see it that way for the only reason is because the only people who do that are Haney sexuals.
No, but I'm just saying that I feel, to be honest, yes, outside of not taking the deal, but once he did agree, and that's the part that I don't think you're understanding. See, he did agree. So when he goes back and say, yo, I just felt that it wasn't right? But he agreed. But something came up, something in the mind. Now, is this is it a paranoia thing that he really overthink this? That his team was ready for him to really pull out the fight, or his team and everybody was happy at the time when he said is agreed?
He explained it to you, Punch.
No,
I don't mean that. He said he was about to agree. He was about to agree, but then he saw. He mentioned something that he saw that they put out there, and he said, "You know what? Nah, fuck this."
Eso es lo que él dijo, pero es the time frame. The time frame of that todavía didn't match up.
Well, because you're Punch, and all due respect, Papa, is because you're on the thing that he agreed, and I'm on the believer side that he hasn't. And so that's why at the moment you and I chocamos in those timelines because we're in different timelines of thought of what we believe. Okay, and that's all.
The timeline is when he agreed. That's the timeline is that he agreed, and then the morning comes, and he pulls out. When he agreed, he pulls out. Not and I'll let shit play out. Put it that way. I'll let shit play out.
I mean that's all we can. I mean, but that's all we can do, bro.
The thing is, I know what I know, but the thing is, I know what I know. He knows I know what I know. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want if this is what it is. If it is a second thought of overthinking of, it's just not about the contract that wasn't fulfilled because you renegotiated it and you agreed upon. They renegotiated. He agreed on that, and he was happy with it. The 5.5 million started, but it got to a number where he was happy. You know what I'm saying? It was agreed. Everybody agreed. Everybody was happy. Everybody is ready. And on his own, out of nowhere, he decided not, which surprised his team as well, because everything was agreed. Now, the thing I wish is not, and I don't know 100% facts, because that's what I was trying to get out of it. But he went live in the live with when he was with Cha, and then he came to my channel. He said certain things, but the thing that I'm always thinking about, was it a overthinking that if when you go to Saudi, you're going to get robbed? And that's what I was hearing. Come on, we never heard him say, well, Devin is a Muslim and he's a Muslim and they colluded. That's something that
you know was one question I asked him, Punch. I asked him if he got to speak with Turkey.
He said no.
And he said no. So did Turkey forgive you? How can Turkey forgive you if he didn't say it out of his mouth? Hey man, I accept your apology. I appreciate that. My brother, we good. I appreciate you being a stand-up man and taking your words back. He didn't get that.
But
he never got that
through his representative, and he knew that he did get.
That's not,
he said it live with even us. That he
through
got
your representative, Papa. That's like your wife telling you that she sent her best friend to say, I forgive you for cheating on me or some shit like that. You know what I mean? Come on, man. It's got to be the person.
People are going to debate and have conversation what he said publicly. You know what I'm saying?
And we agree. Él habla de más. He speaks too much.
And that's all. That's where we have to. That's the work. That the work on the table is what he says.
And then look, I used to be as invested.
I'm gonna give you an example. The 11 million. I'm not gonna sell my soul for $11 million. Yo, you want to clean that up, because then they're gonna say this and they're gonna say that. Let them think what they want to think. ¿Con qué tú me dejas? Dime.
Right. I mean, I'm this, and our world of bonchinche. Right. I get it. And to a point, what you're saying, that's why I look.
Because then what happened is this is what really everybody ran with in YouTube and in articles, that he ducked $11 million to fight Devin Haney. He's not even getting $11 million.
Yeah, but he never mentioned no Haney name when he said $11 million.
Exactly. But because he's not voting Devin Haney, and then it's like because everything was lined up, the filling in the blank. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but it doesn't take a genius to know that nobody's paying someone $11 million.
Sabe porque the Turkey I'll shake. There's the perception of Turkey that he's paying un trozo de dinero. That's the perception. So everybody.
I think what happened was at May 2nd, bro, or that weekend of May 2nd and May 3rd, Turkey Al Sheikh se le hincharon los huevos tanto that now he's gonna play a little bit more hardball with the pay. And that's what happened. I think he got so embarrassed that he's like, fuck these motherfuckers. They're now fucking me over. And now he's not. Ahora se está apretando la correa. He's now trying to. No. Hold on. Let me pull this chain back. You motherfuckers are taking advantage of me. And then it happens to be that Tia is the first one to pay the consequence for that.
Yes. 100%.
Tia's paying the consequence for that.
And that's what we understand. So when he says, you know what I'm saying, I did what I had to do. These other motherfuckers didn't do shit. Why do I have to pay for it? See, but even the way he says it, add the layers to it. Add it just like how we said it. Say it. And también hear us. So when you do go out there, you piggyback off.
I agree with that part.
Say it like that.
Yo, man, estamos aquí to if there's something that's missing in your vocabulary, hear us out, because we know how perception becomes reality. We deal with this bonchichi on these YouTube streets. We know how to debate these motherfuckers to get to the point, and what words mean something and they can twist it, but we know how to correct it and slam them right there. Teal's not involved like you and I. He doesn't do this shit like we do here with this stuff. And you, who've been having a channel for God knows how long now, I've been your number one member since the day he pulled up on this shit and with the membership thing. You know what I mean? Ya llevamos como 6 años aquí contigo. So, he doesn't understand this stuff like how people argue out here and people read things and how people twist things and make their own perceptions.
But let me tell you something about these fighters. They listen to everything. They listen to everything. From the Teos, from the Shakors, from the Keyshawn, from the Devins, from the Bills.
I've noticed that more than ever. These you and I, we grew up with no social media, but these motherfuckers, this is
their world.
Yeah, social media is at least we knew what a TV was when we grew up, right? That's what it is for these guys. That social media is like something normal that's in your household.
For some understands them and be like, fuck giving F the Haney's, right? Like he said, I'm not giving them, they gotta work for it. For me, it's F them, pero dale esa pela, yo. That's my satisfaction.
And I get it. You don't think I would like to see that punch in a sense, but I'm not happy with it. I don't want to see Devin Haney on my TV screen. I don't want to see that motherfucker on my TV screen. I don't want to waste another Friday night or Saturday night having to pay whatever I paid was almost $110 for that weekend for the $90 pay-per-view for both fights. I don't want to do that. I don't want to see that motherfucker on my screen just as much as I don't want to ever see Skull again. And that's just me. I don't hear nobody bitching about that. I'm the hardcore casual. I love this sport for what it is. I love it because you're one of the first motherfuckers who had me on your panels when I first kind of walked into this shit, and that's why I'm still here with you because you're one of my day ones that I've given, who's opened the door for me here, for me to talk my shit and be with you. But no, bro, I understand with things that you're saying, but I mean, at the end of the day, they're gonna do what they're gonna do.
Yeah, as a fan, you have the right to buy the product and want to purchase the product. And as a fan, also as a supporter, I just feel like it does something it enhances his legacy, and it's all about the takeover. I'm invested in the takeover.
Tio,
and that's what it is. I'm invested in the takeover. That's why since day one, it's been the captain of the generation. The captain of this generation, the commander-in-chief. Since day one, without no belt, it's been that. And this is a fight that is the captain of the generation, the commander-in-chief.
For me, what's the easiest thing for me that made me to follow Teofimo Lopez is that it was easy to know what's next. Easy for me to know what's next. Yes, it's going to be Comey. Yes, it's going to be Loma. Yes, it's going to be Taylor. And yes, it's going to be Boots against all motherfucking. That's how easy it is. Because all you got to do is look at the legacy. And that's what I want. I'm sorry. I don't feel like you do with Devin Haney today of anything of legacy.
No.
He's a washed fighter with PTSD until proven otherwise.
But that's just too far. Let him take it out of his misery. You know what? Like
the Gamboas when they got him out, like the Linares. I'm like, bro, man, no.
Once you retire, they're not gonna say, "Well, he beat Devin Haney, but he beat."
But I'm not thinking about retirement punch. I'm thinking about that. I want to pay money to watch Tio fight a motherfucker que le va a dar una buena pelea.
Just like I paid for, not paid, but I'm just saying, just like I supported a Steve Claggett fight, like I supported a Jermaine Ortiz fight. Like I supported a Pedro Compa fight. I can support a Devin Haney fight. I can support that. Why not?
Yeah, why did the Claggett happen? Because Matias decided to go to Matchroom. We wanted Matias. I know I wanted Matias. You wanted Matias. Matias decided to go Amparo and got his ass whooped. So that's how it was.
You think I want the Devin Haney fight after the fight? No. I didn't want Devin Haney.
Nobody was calling for it.
I wanted the Boost, but if Boost, that's why I was so mad at Boost, and I'm also I'm a Boost fan as well. I was very disappointed in Boots. Like I couldn't believe it. It was like mind-boggling. It was mind-boggling that Boots don't want to fight Teofimo Lopez. I don't understand it. I still need to see. I don't want to hear none of the channels is affiliated with him. I don't want to hear the YMCA, the Greg Hag. I don't want to hear none of the motherfuckers. I want to hear why the YMCA down. You will be a favorite. That's number one in the bookies. He's the most accomplished fighter of your generation. This is the most accomplished fighter in the resume. Why wouldn't you want to fight this? I don't understand. I don't understand. At a certain point, no disrespect, but I feel like that's one of the most retarded moves for Boots Ennis. Not fighting Teofimo Lopez.
My only logical reason for that punch, my only logical reason that I could come up with is that he is getting decent money with Eddie Hearn as it is. They're cruising away, getting $3 million or so per fight. And not to say that Teo is going to be like a massive threat, but he is a threat to fuck that all up.
And put it this way, when it comes to the Boots and Teo, Turkey was on Teo's side. This is what he wants for Boots. Didn't get invited to the Ring Magazine Award ceremony, so everything still was. I understand the frustration of Teofimo Lopez, but I don't understand why Boots wouldn't take this fight. I don't understand.
It's just that, why take a hard fight when you could take an easy fight that you know that they really possess no threat. Teo has tools of a threat. Mario Barrios it doesn't have those unique tools. Norman Jr. is a fine young man, and I think and I like them, but he doesn't have, other than power, I don't see no oh my god skills that tells me oh my god this guy's a phenom.
Anybody that says that Teofimo Lopez is not a threat for Boots don't even got a brain cells, man. Your father is your uncle.
so that's what it is.
Any Boots fan, any channel, whoever supports is trying to say that Teofimo Lopez fight with Boots ain't a good fight. What Teofimo gonna do? Ain't no threat. Ain't no nothing fight. Ain't nothing bringing that to the table. Your father is your uncle. You frauds. You are cancer to this community. You a cancer to your family, bro. Hang yourself.
Punch. That last fight with Teo. I mean, I've probably now seen him like maybe 7-8 times because you could see who Teo is in between every of those shots, bro. Like what the fuck, this guy, you know what I mean? And you can see it, and they see it too. Even Richard Hitchinson, buddy, like, bro, I watched the Teo. Yeah, I watched that fight like 4 times, man. Why? Why did he admit that he watched Teo fighting Barboza 4 times? Because there's a lot of shit that dude is doing in that ring that's like, what the fuck? And so yeah, he's a special talent, and so Boots see that, and maybe that's where it's at.
And Teo will whoop Boots. That's what it is. Boots known. That's what it is. That's what it is. His father got the con. Shout out to Boza. He said we'll take that in a heartbeat.
Right.
This guy be running. I don't know. He be running just like the Virgil Ortiz, and then I don't know what he does an interview. I didn't know it was man. I want to be undisputed. Fuck that fucking whack ass undisputed with Brian Norman Jr. or Mario Barry. Mario Barry's gonna be facing Manny Pacquiao. You don't give a fuck about that. You don't care about that. You in the same situation as Shakur Stevenson in the super featherweight. Nobody wanted to see nobody that was not gonna cement Shakur Stevenson. That's why nobody even wanted to pay for it. Once he beat Oscar Valdez, he got the lineal champion. He was the man. You the lineal champion. It was 2 reasons you got the lineal champion. You know why? Because everybody already see that you're the best welterweight. We don't need to see a lot. That's what the industry feels. That's what the Ring Magazine committee feels. That's why you got the ring, because they already feel like you better than Brian Norman. No disrespect.
Right, and that Shakur analogy is very true. There was no need for Shakur to go for undisputed at 130 when everybody. It was just. It's obvious you're the motherfucker.
Yeah, and then the second thing is that you got the Ring Magazine because you're lined up to face the other Ring Magazine champion, and Teofimo Lopez. Don't think Boots Ennis you was just given that because they, you know what I'm saying? There could be 2 things. Don't think that you was given that because you really think you really the best. It's because you was lined up to fight fucking Teofimo Lopez.
It was part of the build-up.
Exactly.
It was part of the build-up.
Ring Magazine was standing on this, brother.
So when Teo says that there seems to be somewhat of rift of not happiness between Turkey and Eddie Hearn. Do you believe that?
I believe that.
I do too.
I believe that. I believe a lot of. I think a lot. I think everybody's on the fence. They waited. I think that all of them, Oscar De La Hoya, Eddie Hearn, I think all of them is in the fence.
But the only one who's burned them twice now is Eddie Hearn, not delivering boots.
And he's burning them. Look at the biggest, one of the most lucrative fight that may happen. Canelo Alvarez and Bud Crawford. He got Dana White as the promoter.
Yeah, he announced it finally. Dana White is going to be tag teaming with Silas. He put out. I don't know if you saw that. But Dana White said it yesterday in the press conference.
Why you think now they focus? Why you think Eddie Hearn be like, you know what, man? I got too invested with the turkey, man. I gotta worry about my own shows, man. I gotta worry about my own shows before I lose out. Oscar De La Hoya, I gotta worry about my own shows, man.
Which is why Teo said that everything's still on the table. Maybe Boots and Teo happens under Eddie Hearn.
But brother, he gave up. Think about this. Oscar De La Hoya gave up his whole stable almost. Look, Virgil T's almost was gonna lose to Boachuk, and then you got 3 golden boy in one card, and all of them lose. And then look what happened to Kid Austin. All in control.
That wasn't by accident that he was pulled out of that fight. That wasn't by accident. So I mean, I'm over it, man. I'm yes, Teal supporter, invested 100 with that, but I'm not.
I'm with Teal.
I'm not stressing it because
don't publicly even state. If you feel like they're gonna run, don't even put that in the air.
Yeah, he shouldn't have, and I wish he he hears us out as for certain things. You know what I mean? Obviously not for the business part.
That's all. It makes you look weak. You don't got to put that shit out there.
I would have been okay saying, yo, they're trying to screw me over in my contract. It's not what I signed for, and this is not what it's supposed to be, and so I'm not on board, and that's that. Either hello, you would have left it at that. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. But when you add layers, like you say, and you give people ammunition to only to take things out of context, because everybody may say, oh, you don't want to go over there, but you forget about the contract part. I get that.
So now that Keyshawn did what he this whole little drama what he did this week, rubbed, and I think it's at a real bad timing, right? That was their second last ESPN event, right? And probably ESPN is looking at this like, shit, no wonder we out of here, man. Fuck, we're not invested in boxing. Amazon Prime is not trying to be invested in boxing as well. It's really getting sad out here in America, man. It's really getting sad out here, and I think that Keyshawn Davis, who was one of the recognizable young talent in American boxing, I think he really shot himself on the foot. But this is boxing, and there's people that's highly forgiven, and he's still in position. I think probably he go to 140. It could be in talks of a Teofimo Lopez fight as well.
Oh, we know this is not the end of Keyshawn Davis. I mean, we know that. I mean, whoever thinks that, I mean, doesn't understand boxing or the way boxing is.
They finding out he's a liability now.
Well, yes, he is.
Yes.
And the thing is that just like you said, as for Top Ring, they're running thin on their stables of stars. This happened. I've never thought Keyshawn was that guy. I never thought he was that guy. But he's doing good in his promotion and fighting all these bums that make them think like they're something that they're not.
He's an Olympian, though. He's a silver Olympian.
But he's done good in the promotional stuff. He had A-list stars coming to this fight. Like, he was on the brink of crossover, of taking it to that next level. And, bro, que cagada, bro. Que cagada. And them trying to, but why did that happen? Because I believe he's all talk. All that shit he was doing to Mason, all the wanting to come in at one bigger than it's because he was insecure who the fuck he is. He doesn't believe he's that guy. and he's looking for an advantage. And he didn't think that De Los Santos was not going to get paid and not take the fight. And it blew up in his face. And it blew up in Bomac's face. I'm going to say it blew up in Bomac's face. Because he's the leader of that thing. So we'll see what happens from here, man. I really don't know what they're going to do. Fine him, suspend him. I don't know. Fine him what? He has no money. They didn't give him no money. So ¿qué le queda for them to do to him? Suspend them for what? How long? 6 months? I mean, that doesn't mean shit in boxing. The only way you can really to suspend somebody and make it count is, I'm going to suspend them for 2 years. Well, they ain't going to do that. That ain't going to happen. But I did hear Albright's promoters, a lawsuit more than likely is coming down, and that'll be a lawsuit against Top Rank, I would imagine, or against the arena. I'm not sure which one of the two is responsible for the security or for their fighter for doing what they did. Let me ask you something, Punch. Would you even have showed up if you were Keyshawn Davis?
Yes.
You would have?
Yeah, you got to, because first 2 of your brothers is fighting, so you will be, just because you're not fighting, you're not going to support your brothers. You know what I'm saying? That would have been that would have never looked right. Remember, it's a family. All his brothers is fighting. His family is there as well. So then it would have been just about you. It wouldn't be. It wouldn't be about DB3. You know what I'm saying?
So then he should have changed the way, because the perception he gave on camera and the way he was acting, then somebody need to look, man. You got to act humble. You got to act like you.
And to be honest, I think that, again, shout out to Miss Davis. His mom is the one that's that truly has put him in position in the amateur. She's a really smart woman, and I know she probably had that conversation with Keyshawn Davis and professionalism and things of that nature. I truly think that that I do feel sorry for his mom and the way they conducted themselves in front of her and shit like that. Because I know that she ain't raised him like that. Knowing the Davis family and following them since the amateurs and stuff like that, like I that wasn't fair to her. And I think that their apology should be with the fans, the way they carry themselves, apologize to Top Rank, the investors and all that, but they really in front of their mom, in front of their kid, his child. I think that still Keyshawn Davis hasn't put an apology. He's only been Kelvin Davis.
No, he hasn't.
Kelvin Davis was the one that was actually trying to stop it. I think they embarrassed his brother too, the one that lost, Kelvin.
He's the oldest, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, we've had crash outs out there, but not within the business like this. Like, I don't remember one like this bad like this week, bro. The guy they named this week over the North for Keyshawn Davis week. I'm like, what the fuck? And all this shit happened for this young man.
The energy when you got that aura, when you feel like you have an aura, you the man of the house. All these people are here really because of me. You know what I'm saying? You could see the aura in certain people. I've seen a como. I remember Boots Ennis, right? Boots Ennis in Washington D.C. and a lot of people went out there to support him in D.C. in the same event of Gervonta Davis, and I said, "Yo," and I was in the parking lot, right? And this is where the fighters is coming out, whatever, blah blah. And they're waiting on their cars and stuff like that. And he still had his belt. Then he had his aura, shades. And you see him like a humble guy, right? In interviews and stuff like that. And they said, "Man, what the fuck is my car, man? Hurry up and get my motherfucking car." I said, "Wow. I didn't. Como you see that Diablo the money and they get como like, hey, everybody would get my motherfucking car, bro. Like at the value.
Yeah, it puts you. Te da un airecito.
Yeah, I'm like that day. I was like, Diablo. I'm a supporter of this guy, but no me gusta el character. Yeah.
Right. I know what you mean.
That little thing changed how I really looked at him. As a fighter, no, but that I'm like, the money. Yeah.
You get arrogant beyond.
It's your day, you the man, you and that. You know, look, I always say that these fighters, especially when they days before fight, during camp, or the week after the fight, they in this I could beat any man in the world, and you know what, I appreciate it and understand it, because they go into war, they have to have, you know,
That's the
that
mindset, bro.
yeah. And it carries. That's why I always ask fighters, how long does it take you after the fight to, like Nonito Donet says, sometimes it takes some, for a while, it takes a month
To switch it off.
To go back to that, you know.
Yeah, to switch it off.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if anybody meets Zab Judah today, you wouldn't think he was a fighter, bro. You wouldn't think he was the Brooklyn motherfucker.
Exactly.
You know,
him.
You wouldn't think that.
I seen yo, I see it in Crowbar. I see Zab Judah. I remember Crowbar. You trying to beat up the bouncers and all that.
He was a crazy dog.
Man, he's mean, street, rugged, mean.
But now you meet him now. He's like he's the most humblest, coolest dude you can meet. You know, and but I get it. You know, and that's why whatever happens on that fight week, for the most part. But man, for Keyshawn Davis, bro, I you know, the thing is, he hasn't even taken any accountability, bro. Zero, and that's troublesome. That's troublesome. That's very troublesome to me. That you have no remorse, you have no shame. You were acting like you were going to the fight like nothing happened, bro. Punch, when he got on the scale, and I said this before, when he got on the scale that Friday, and he's got on, they said 139.3, and he's just smiling and flexing. I thought I heard wrong. I'm like, I thought I heard wrong. And was it 134.3? And I stopped the live and rewound it back. You know, it was 130. I'm like, so why is he smiling? Why is he acting like nothing?
He still haven't posted anything. I'm checking.
No, he hasn't. His brothers did. His brother did.
Yeah, I know.
But that was his brother just trying to, you know, that co-signing for his brother. No, it needs to be one from him.
Look at Joan Hernandez. I mean, Rohan Polanco showing love to Puerto Rico in the Puerto Rican Day Parade.
And a lot of people have been turned off by it. I mean, you know, I'm surprised that I see a lot of accountability for it. I see one or two out there trying to give them a pass for whatever retarded reason, but for the most part, the boxing community is turned off by this, and are extremely disappointed in the young man. So we'll see what happens from it, man. I mean, it ain't the end of the world, but you have to pay the consequences, and you're gonna have to earn the trust of the people again. For those that were your fans, I used to thought that he was gonna be a spectacular fighter, but I just saw what they did with him to make him a champion, and I'm like, well, you still got to prove it for me. Pero veremos, bro. That's all we can say.
I seen Amanda Serrano on the float.
Yeah, bro. They hooked her up with a truck and shit, bro. She had a monster truck with a wrap with her on it. You know, and she's you know, they had a good time, man. It looks like it was a beautiful event, bro. What a contrast, New York City to LA right now. You see what's going on over there, bro?
In LA.
Yeah, bro. So compare New York to LA today. Night and day.
Yeah. Fight Fury Films with a 10-ounce super chat. The end of the world is near. We need these fights. Now tell them, Fight Fury Films. Tell them we need it. We need it. Hey, Fight Fury, who wants the fight? I want that. Tio, get the fight. Fuck that shit. Sign it, bro. Beat the crap out of him. I know it, yo. It's a celebration August 16th. It's a celebration, bro. Hey, yo. We all go out there in the group. Don't worry, nobody gonna touch you. We're gonna film everything when you wake up before the sleep, so we know that no hay traqueteo, no nothing. Yo, you know when you have a feeling your that's how I felt with the Lomachenko and with the Taylor, but with the Lomachenko, I'm like, watch, y'all gonna see. I'm telling y'all, he gonna outbox him. Fuck that night, because when people say you only gotta punch his down, fuck the knockout. He gonna outbox the Matrix. He gonna outbox him. Watch. I know with this fight is easy. It's easy. Where Teo physically is at right now, I'm telling you, bro. The dedication. He's in the gym every fucking day.
Bro,
he was a spar man. He's doing the work. He is zoned in. So
what does that tell you, Punch? Is there something really down the table?
I'm telling you, it's set. It is set.
I think there's something kind of set up already.
Weather, all that. It is set, my brother.
We'll see.
I know Teo will fight anybody in a heartbeat, but now I understand it's the business. And if he takes, I also feel the same way I felt with the Amanda Serrano situation. If he takes this, she takes this, then she ain't gonna get more than that.
They're not. They're gonna play you out like that.
But also, you gotta trust your team. Also, you gotta. Amanda Serrano trusts Nakisa and Jake Paul. You think she trusts Jordan? You think ella dice no a ellos?
A Punch, but that's the thing. They already announced the August 16th card, right? They showed all the fighters that they're gonna have, blah blah blah. We don't know what's set up for the Canelo fight, and they're gonna need some good shit for that fight. And this is gonna be the first TKO Dana White event. So, I mean, Teo knows more than us, obviously, and so I wouldn't be surprised if there's something set up for that.
Nah. Es verdad, porque and then what I always say, I don't contradict myself. We also talk about corruption, right? What I said about, I did a video with Canelo Alvarez and Bud Crawford. I said that you gonna get robbed. You gonna get robbed. Canelo, you gonna get robbed.
So maybe Teo's playing the cards for. Hey, Boots don't want to go to Saudi. Teo don't want to go to Saudi, but they'll both go to Vegas on the undercard of Canelo and Crawford.
I think he's the good fight. I think that if all parties, somebody got to talk to Boots. Somebody got to really talk. I feel. You know what I think though? I truly believe that two major fights happen. Why? Because they had a conversation. I say this. Teo and Boots have respect for each other. Always had respect for each other. The fathers always had respect for each other. This is a time I feel like, let me get Boots' number. Or Boots, let me get Teo. This is what it is, You always have respect. Let's fight. Let's fight. Let's make money. Let's whatever. The best man wins. Whatever. Just like how Floyd Mayweather needed to talk to Manny Pacquiao. Just like Bud Crawford and Earl Spence needed to talk to each other. Sometimes is that, okay, remember, you go into business together. You got to sometimes have that conversation. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe Keith Conley needs to call Bosley.
I'm going to give you an example also that people don't like to talk about. Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury talked to one another. Remember when Tyson Fury retired and Deontay Wilder, he had that hand injury. He said he spoke to Tyson Fury. He said, I wouldn't want no man to go through what he's going through. I would give my arm for him not to go like that. Don't you think that when Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder came together, it's because that conversation and you know what? I'm going to give this guy an opportunity. And Deontay Wilder said, that's why Deontay Wilder was so mad at Tyson Fury. I said, remember, I told you as a man, when I brought you back from the dead. Remember those conversations we had, right? So sometimes those conversations, you know what I'm saying? Teo, try to call Boots. Try to really, really like, let's get this thing done. Let's get this thing done. Because I believe there's como un grupito de gente around Boots que le están diciendo ay que no lo coja.
I believe that.
And he's like, and just like Teo and them, and we say that they're young and maybe could be influenced. I think that is getting influenced by these. I could tell because look how they talk. Look how the people that's around them talk. And I feel like he's being influenced by saying, I wouldn't fight Teo. Let me get this super chat. What's good? Tremel. Good looking. I appreciate you, man. Salute, punch. Everybody know I rock with Haney. When it comes to the younger generation, it's all about Haney versus Lopez. Two of the best prospect, best resume for supremacy. We need this fight, Brownie. We need this fight, HOD.
Nah, you're not buying me over on that one.
We need the fight.
I don't need that one. I'm okay without that one.
T.O., come on, T.O., come on. Get Devin Haney. Rip his heart out. Rip it apart. Let's go, T.O.
I'm willing to wait what's gonna happen here in the next few weeks.
20 mil after 20 mil. We don't fight. No, we don't fight the next fight. No 20 mil, we don't fight. I support T if he says I'm not fighting. I'm the same way. Look at when I said, remember that video I did a long time ago? It was Earl Spence and Bud Crawford. I said, man, there's too much money in the pot. None of you guys should fight for less than 20 mil. Don't fight.
Yeah, I remember that.
And look, finally they got it because I know I have a feeling with T.O. he gets this fight. He's A side until he retires, and I don't want to hear nothing else.
Yeah, well, you may hear nothing, but the reality is the business is not going to treat him like that.
It will,
and that's what it is. I'm okay. Look, I'm just here. I'm okay. I'm okay waiting on what's next. I'm okay with it because there's a lot of things that are happening all at once, and especially with the Canelo card, they need two superstars on the co-main, and I don't see it being no bigger than the Teo versus Boots on that undercard, and that may happen.
Bro, it will with Keith. I have faith in Keith as well.
That's what I'm saying.
Teo has faith in Keith because they did lock out that deal. And what they renegotiate, it came close to that number, HLD. It came very, very close to that number. From what they had when it went down and had to come right back up, it went very close to that number. And that's why he was.
I know it was from what I know. I mean, you probably know obviously more than me.
So
but it was still about four off.
No. Yo lo tengo aquí.
No, I'm not. Yo es lo que yo sé. Por eso dice, you know more than me. I thought it came up to about. No voy a hablar porque no me gusta hablar lo que no sé.
Por eso yo te estoy diciendo, it got very. So what Keith Con, I believe in Keith Connolly. So if there's some other options, I believe he could get it. But that's why I want him to forget about the notion of this person could rob me and stuff like that, because
that doesn't sound right. I mean, it just didn't. I didn't like it. I think you could have those thoughts behind the scenes, but you don't. Yeah, you. I agree with you, Punch, with that. There's things that he says that he shouldn't say. Hey, Tito, you listen. There's things that you say that you shouldn't say. Not that you don't have a right to feel what you feel, but you don't put certain things out there, Papa, because people take it and run with it. It's as simple as that. And then your perception becomes reality, whether you like it or not. It's not about freedom of speech. It's that you can't control what the media is going to do, what people are going to say. And so the only thing you can control is what comes out of your mouth. And that's it.
And then when you go back, you can't get mad at when people, say what they say about certain situation. Like, when you shoot yourself on the foot with I haven't made this much money, but then you get this much money, but you won't sell yourself for $1 million, but you sell you know what I'm saying?
Right. It's a contradictory.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So and then just as much as you have the platform to speak, you also have the same platform to clean it up. You also have the platform to be like, yo, or not. Actually, what I actually did mean when I said that is this, and that. Boom. If you're going to be transparent, right? You want to be understood. Now, if you don't care what people say, then don't say nothing, right? But if you're going to be transparent and be give your hour monologue and stuff like that in situation, but make it for you to be understood. You don't want to talk for an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, go live here, go live there, do interviews there to be misunderstood. You want to be understood. You know what I'm saying? And I know he wants to be understood.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't think he realizes that and that's what I was trying to tell him on that space is that words mean something, and you got to really know what you're saying because when you say it one way, it means something else than what you're trying to say. And so I get that.
I'm not
I
saying
get
that you're gonna like what you say or dislike it. You're gonna get your supporters, you're gonna get your haters. Your pursuit of greatness comes with hate. It comes with support, it comes with love, and it does comes with hate. You know what I'm saying?
But why is nobody pushing what's next for Devin Haney? Didn't he have a hit list? I don't see them pushing for Gabe right now. Why isn't Keyshawn Davis on that right now? Hey, we'll fight, man. You're 140 now.
Because they know they have nobody right now.
Because Turkey ain't willing to pay for shit for anything.
Haney, I'm not saying that. Oh, get him out. No. Devin Haney is a very accomplished fighter. Hopefully, he gets a fight. But I know that as of right now, my intellect saying he doesn't have an option.
He doesn't have any options.
Everybody's always gonna say they got options. Of course, you can fight the guy that's 15 ranked. Yes, you always got options. But the type of options to get paid the way you want to get paid, that's the type of option I don't think is on the table.
Let's keep it a buck. What was Devin Haney's option right before this Ramirez fight? He had a purse bid that only Bob Arum bidded on it, and he was only going to get 1.5. That right there tells you what is Devin Haney's market value. That was Devin Haney's market value for the Sandor Martin fight, $1.5 million.
I know the options. I know the option.
Or be okay.
No, you know what they're talking about right now? What they talking about?
No.
Timothy Bradley is the option right now.
Oh no, bro! We're fucking around with that.
But I'm just saying, what's the option right now? That Bill is paying attention to Timothy Bradley.
No tiene más nada, bro. No tienen más nada. And I know they're desperate for that pay. How's that?
Devin Haney versus who out there August?
Bro, I don't see it happening. He's not on the August undercard.
The best thing they could do is I say like this, if you want to bring Blair Cobbs into the mix.
Blair Cobbs is a dangerous fight. If Ramirez was scary for you to run around, what is Blair Cobbs he's gonna crack your head open.
But I do like the attention that PBC is giving Teofimo Lopez. I could see
they retweeted Teo with the business picture, bro.
I could see a Teo at this point of their career. If Gervonta Tank Davis, see, that's what it is. If Teo would have beat Devin on the same day, Tank beats Lamont Roach, and then with the PBC love that they have for Teo, they don't have to go through Top Rank anymore. Teo could deal with anybody. You just got to pay his promotional fee. He could deal with anybody. That's why he's out here promoting it like that.
Well, he could do it without Devin Haney regardless, because he could go over there.
But I'm just saying for the generation, it will be on the same day, August 16th. And the only two names that people are going to be talking about, if let's say Tank beats a thing, I'm just saying he's in it for business as well. It's not like, that's still a good fight for the fans, And who else on PBC? Gary Antoine Russell unification battle.
Right.
But I don't hear Teo nor Gary Antoine truly talk because they know each other. So they have a lot of respect for one another.
Well, they're not there yet for that, but it can be built up. And Gary Antoine Russell, smokes his next fight. Teo does his next fight. If he decides to really stay, that's the thing is that we still don't know where Teal's going to really be at. We don't know. We really don't know. And then next week, is it next week that we see? I don't think that Jin Sasaki is a walkover.
Richardson Hitchens and George Camboso.
Is it next week also that the Norman fights Jin Sasaki, or is it the next week after that?
I gotta see.
No, June 19th. Yeah, and 2 more weeks for that.
But anyway, man, I'm about to turn this one off.
Well, Papa, absolutamente. Being on it for over 3 hours, I bet.
Yeah, good looking out HLD. Good looking out everybody else that was on the panel. Low Nose Boxing, Jay, everybody in the chat. Shout out to the fighters. Hopefully, Keyshawn Davis get his mind right, get the thing right, get back into people comfortable investing in you. So hopefully Keyshawn Davis, you know what I'm saying, get the necessary help. All these fighters get the necessary help that they need, man. I think that a lot of these fighters does need therapy, need mental wellness and stuff like that. And hopefully the sanctioning or these sanctioning fees that they pay for, you know what I'm saying, give them some mandatory therapy. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man. Hopefully the DB3s get back into the hearts of the public, of their fan base. Shout out to Kelvin Davis for apologizing. Shout out to Albright for winning the fight. Shout out to Abdullah Mason. I believe Abdullah Mason. I would like to see Abdullah Mason versus Gabe Flores Jr. to fight for the vacant WBO title. Both of these guys been promoted by Top Rank. Gabe Flores not promoted by Top Rank right now, but he's been promoted by Top Rank and before. I think the networks know them very well right now, and I think that would be a good fight. They can't fight in July, but hopefully, you know, the new platform, they get that fight. I think Gabe Flores Jr. and Abdullah Mason for the vacant title. I think it'll be a good fight for both of them, two recognizable young names in the sport of boxing. They could play with the African American versus the American Mexican fighter. They could play that. Storyline. But I think I want to see that fight. For Abdullah Mason to become a champion, opportunity to become a champion by the age of 21, and Gabe Flores is still young. I think Gabe Flores is what 24, 23, 22. Let me know what y'all think about that fight. Teofimo Lopez. Hopefully that Jerome Bruce Ennis goes back into the table and be like, you know what, man? Maybe the decision could be made after the Brian Norman Jr. fight. You know what I'm saying? I don't think if Brian Norman Jr. Imagine if Brian Norman Jr. does lose and he loses to the Japanese guys. Jerome Bruce Ennis is going to be fighting the Japanese guy. You know what I'm saying? Do you think that people are going to be wasting their money? I don't think that Eddie Hearn want to waste more money. I think with Teofimo Lopez, they're going to make money. You know, I think everybody will be happy. With the Devin Haney and Teo, I don't think that fight is going to happen. I don't think Teo just have no interest in fighting Devin Haney. I think there's a lot of I think the situation with Turkey, but it's something about that. I don't know, man. I just feel like there's a little bit of frustration. There's a little bit of a hate, you know what I'm saying? But I don't know where the hate comes from. And that's the reason why I want Teofimo Lopez to fight Devin Haney, because I think there's some animosity, because I do think that the way that his legacy been disrespected was in the expense of Devin Haney. So I just put that shit to rest. But anyway, man, shout out to everybody in the chat, man. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel, man. Love y'all. God first, everything second. Fight plus survive because true champions. What you said, Brown? He said, Punch, talk to Teo tonight. We need this. We need this for the culture. Facts, yo. We need this for the culture. I think Teofimo Lopez understand. I spoke. I want him to get. I want him to fight Devin, because Boots is not gonna be fighting him, right? That's the. If Boots was still on the table, now we're talking about Boots and Teo. But if Boots is really out, and that's the only thing right now he got on the table for August 16th, just 2 months. Come on, man. Get rid of it. Come on, man. It's an easy fight. Teofimo Lopez going to beat Devin Haney from pillar to post, Brownie. From pillar to post. Worse than Ryan Garcia. But we need the fight. We need that fight for the generation. We need that event. Love y'all. God bless. And on to the next.